Introducing the two-way V4, where groundbreaking fuel cell technology meets fresh foam cushioning for the ultimate performance. With Fuel Cell, each step feels explosive, delivering unparalleled energy return. Paired with fresh foam, experience maximum comfort throughout the game. Its lightweight textile upper offers support and breathability without sacrificing agility. Whether you're hitting the clutch shot or locking down the opposition, the two-way V4 gives you the tools to play at a high level. Learn more and purchase the two-way for yourself at newbalance.com.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
yada yada.
And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4054. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my God, Montgomery. And you on the Men's Room. Let's have today the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, Men's Room Shot of the Day, fundable listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack.
Drink it, they drink. All right, here we go. A shoplifter at a Pennsylvania Walmart busted with steaks, ammo, and, of course, bacon. Meanwhile, a South Carolina man gets his high school diploma, 100 years in the making. Priest is busted illegally selling a hard time, headbutting passengers at 40,000 feet. That is definitely a crime. And a British soldier wins $500,000 making a sex tape. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, yesterday, we went on at length about a local woman who was attacked by a cougar while on a bike ride. Now, she sustained serious injuries, but is expected to make a full recovery. Sadly, the same cannot be said for a man in India. See, in an effort to get the ultimate selfie, he climbed into the lion enclosure at a local zoo. And yeah, the lion dragged him to a corner and mauled him to death. Well, today, we get the story of a man in Colorado who died earlier this month. Now, was he attacked by a cougar? No. Was he mauled by a lion? Absolutely not. He died after his pet Gila monster bit him. Yes, he had a pet Gila monster, one of 2 venomous lizards in the world. Hell, we had a guy call in yesterday who explained that after a bite from a spider, it eventually led to his kidneys failing. So other than Spider-Man, there are not a lot of positive spider bite stories out there. But really, there's not a lot of positive stories about any kind of bite, really. I mean, a guy in Florida, he almost lost his leg to a flesh-eating bacteria after being bitten by a family member during a fight. But on the other hand, a cobra died after being bitten by an 8-year-old kid. Bet you didn't see that coming. But today we're talking bites, because it seems like everyone has been bitten by something or someone, sadly. And that's what today's question is. Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you.
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. You can like The Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to The Men's Room at KISW.com.
Introducing the two-way V4, where groundbreaking fuel cell technology meets fresh foam cushioning for the ultimate performance. With fuel cell, each step feels explosive, delivering unparalleled energy return. Paired with fresh foam, experience maximum comfort throughout the game. Its lightweight textile upper offers support and breathability without sacrificing agility. Whether you're hitting the clutch shot or locking down the opposition, the two-way V4 gives you the tools to play at a high level. Learn more and purchase the two-way for yourself at newbalance.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough, and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
This spring, break away and visit Fort Collins, Colorado. Seeking a culinary escape? Local restaurants offer exclusive specials during Great Plates of downtown Fort Collins. Love live music? FOCO MX is a 2-day festival with hundreds of Colorado artists. Eager to be entertained? The Lincoln Center hosts comedian Mike Birbiglia and an evening with John Cusack. Plan your travels at visitfortcollins.com. Fort Collins, where adventure casual is a way of life.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the tells, away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4054. What a large and in charge program we have for you today.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed future repeat on this lovely Wednesday afternoon.
Yay.
Exciting return of Who Sucks Less. I don't know how you do it, Steve. You comb the news and somehow you find people doing bad things.
Today I simply brushed the news. The comb seemed like too much.
Okay.
Just simple brushing of the news. Yeah, man. And Mike, I think you'll agree, these are not the worst that can happen, but none of these situations needed to happen.
And you don't want to be involved in any of them.
That's basically what it is. You just don't want, it's not life-changing, nothing horrible is going to happen, but you really don't want to have to interact with these situations.
Okay. Who Sucks Less is coming up. What else do we have on the big show? Your chance to win tickets to see Pearl Jam, as Pearl Jam bringing the Dark Matter World Tour to Climate Pledge Arena, May 28th and the 30th. We have your tickets coming up. Here's what they asked us to do. They said, you guys tell people a time, and then you give out the secret word, and at that time, you text that word to 206-803-ROCK. Here is what we've decided for today. The time will be 4:20.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah. I think it's one we can remember, right?
How much time do you put into finding this time, Miles?
You know what? I try to just be as creative and inventive as I can.
Yeah. Day to day.
Yeah, because I think it really sticks in people's heads, and they remember it. So if I can just get them to remember the time, they have a chance to win Pearl Jam tickets. Climate Pledge there. 2 different shows. Not sure what night you get, but either way.
I don't know.
What is that, a Tuesday and a Thursday night, I think?
Is it?
I believe it is.
Hang on.
If I'm not mistaken. That would be the 28th and 30th of May.
28th and 30th of May.
Yeah.
28 and 30. Yeah, that's Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday.
You're on it, Miles.
All right.
Thanks, local
I
band.
know my dates.
He's doing his research over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Tuesday.
He's not just giving away tickets. He's giving away info.
My question is, what do they do it on Wednesday night?
Yeah, seriously, guys.
Recovering.
Seriously.
What are you doing?
Right.
He's getting wine drunk.
Spending time with family.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Hanging out. Nah, you don't want to do that. You're back home. I mean, what?
Wait, are they already on tour or are they starting their tour here?
I believe they're on tour. This will be a home stay.
Are they on
obviously
tour right
makes
now?
sense why. Not yet.
Okay, well, that's what. Why spend time with family? You're already with family. Like you're going to play like a show and be like, got to get back to my family.
Depends on how much you love your family.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Either way, tickets coming up at 4:20. Secret word, text that to 206-803.
I think it starts up in Vancouver.
Okay. And so are we we must be the second date on the tour then. Or
I'm just saying, you don't need family time yet. I'm sorry.
It doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but no, it starts in Vancouver, then Portland, then Cali, then Vegas, then L.A.
Well, that makes sense.
Then they're coming back up
because they're on the road for a little bit.
Who planned your tour? They're stupid. You're skipping things over, man.
I don't know if they're going to make it.
Available dates on the arena, you see.
So they start in Vancouver. They jump over this, head down to California, work your way back north.
Portland.
So Vancouver to Portland, then California, then back up to Seattle. Mm-hmm. Jesus.
And then they go to Europe.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we're the last shows on this.
If I'm going to Europe, I'm calling it the Final Countdown Tour. I'm changing the name.
Do you think you could get sued? Because there's the band Europe. The only song we know is the Final Countdown, but I don't know that they did a Final Countdown tour, right? So
the final countdown?
Yeah, the final.
I don't know that you want to do a Final Countdown tour unless you're that band.
But that's what he's saying. If we're going to Europe, I would absolutely do that. To steal their thunder,
right?
Man.
Yeah, people think Europe's coming out.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they'll be very happy when they don't.
So yesterday, just based on the question, we had a couple of interesting calls. We had a call from a guy who was in the Army, and one of his buddies had like an 8-foot boa constrictor, python, something like that he was keeping in his dorm. The thing hadn't been fed in a month, so they go to feed it a guinea pig. Mm-hmm. The owner gets clamped down in the face.
Yeah, the snake's on his face.
Then we had another caller who called in, and he got bit by a spider in Tacoma, almost died.
Right.
I mean, it was bad. So we get to thinking with some of the stories in the news. All right, so what has bitten you, or what tried to bite you?
And Ted, let me ask you this. All right, I know you do not like snakes, so I shouldn't bother to tell you that I read today they may have found the largest anaconda ever.
I saw that as well.
You did see that?
The green anaconda.
That was a big, big snake. But okay, so you have the guy whose face is being latched on by a python.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have the guy who's bitten by a spider. The difference is the guy who got his face latched on by the python, other than the superficial wounds, that's kind of the beginning and end, right? The spider guy, it led to kidney failure 4 years later. And granted, he got a kidney transplant, so he's okay now. But my question to you is, knowing how much you hate snakes, would you rather deal with the python is latched onto your face, or it's just a spider bite that you don't feel, but 4 years later your kidneys are going to fail?
I mean, in this case, I'll take the snake.
Okay.
Kidney failure sounds horrible.
Yeah. I think it's right there in the name.
Right, it's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. Yep. Yeah, I would take the snake as well.
But it's still terrifying. I mean, if no offense, but if there was a python latched onto your face, I'd be like, Mike,
you would not lend a hand, man.
You got to help this dude.
Look, I've said to animals,
He's
I will
in
not help you
trouble.
with. I will not help you with the shark, because honestly, what am I going to do? And I'm not going to help you with the chimpanzee, because honestly, what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Or a lion. Most big animals is what I'm saying.
I'd help you with the lion.
But you wouldn't help me with the python.
Nah.
You know what? I would rather you help with the lion than the python.
Yeah. I can help with a couple snakes, but not all of them.
I mean,
based on what's in my backpack.
Yes. What do you have for pythons?
Python, I don't have anything for.
So I'm just on my own.
Cobra, I've got a recorder, and I got a wicker, a laundry basket.
There you go. That's all you need.
And that guy's going to crawl right in there, because that's what they do. And then they come out when I start playing the recorder.
Didn't somebody say they're deaf, cobras?
Well, then why do the snake charmers always play the music?
I don't know. I remember.
I think it has to do with the vibrations of the.
So that's what it is.
Of the recorder.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody said, look, man, they're deaf, which is good because the songs they generally play are awful.
Mm-hmm. All right, speaking of cobras, we have an 8-year-old Indian boy who killed a cobra that had wrapped itself around his arm and sank its fangs into his skin. How did he fight off the cobra? He bit it back in a miraculous tale of survival. Mm-hmm. The boy, known only as Deepak, he was attacked by the snake in a remote village in India. Cobra latched onto him while he was playing outside his family home and wound its body around his arm before rearing back and then biting down to inject its deadly poison. Mm-hmm. Fighting through the pain, Deepak furiously shook his arm but could not release the reptile, at which point he decided to give the attacker a taste of its own medicine and viciously sank his own teeth into its body, successfully killing the animal. Damn. An 8-year-old bit through a cobra.
I mean, I'm happy the kid did, but part of me thinks he might need a good dental plan.
Snake got wrapped around my hand and bit me. I was in great pain, he said. As the reptile did not budge when I tried to shake it off, I bit it hard twice. It all happened in a flash. By the way, they say snake bites, common in India. More than 85% of snake bite deaths recorded in 2019 occurred in this area where he lives. Fearing for Deepak's life in the aftermath of the bite, The boy's parents rushed him to a nearby center where he was kept under observation to ensure he would recover successfully. Now, here's what's interesting about this story. An examination of the injury led doctors to discover that he sustained a dry bite, meaning the cobra did not release any venom. And the more I did a little research on this, cobras know when to bite to kill. They also know to bite when they're scared and not to kill. So they determine if they are going to inject you with a poisonous venom or
They
not.
want you dead.
So what they speculate is based on the fact that this was a young boy and he was just playing in his yard and wasn't being physical or trying to attack. The cobra got spooked and just went up to bite him. But it was a warning bite. It wasn't, I'm going to kill you bite.
I bet you if the cobra had known that homeboy was going to bite him back,
Right.
it'd have been a wet bite. See,
Instead
the
of a dry.
cobra,
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
cobras go,
Yeah.
was trying to be decent, and this kid just bit his ass to death.
We stay in
Good
India.
for that kid.
Well, I can't
But
believe
the cobra was giving him a dry bite, man. Like that. As far as cobras go, I would argue he's one of the nicer ones. You know, someone said, dude, a cobra bit you, but the good news is it hurt, no venom. I go, all right, I don't have a problem with that cobra. That's just me.
I say kill him.
Damn, all right.
Okay. We'll stay in India where a man was mauled to death by a lion after he jumped into the enclosure, attempting to take a selfie with the big cats at an India zoo. Unbelievable. 38-year-old man appeared drunk when he stuck into the no-entry area, which is at the zoo. In case your mind was wandering.
Oh, hey.
Hey, look out. Whoa. Give me a warning, bro.
I know you're drunk, but
Despite being warned, the man decided to climb over the enclosure's 4-foot wall and 6-foot metal fence and then jump inside. While 2 lions are caged throughout the day, 1 lion is released in the enclosure daily for display.
Sure.
That's where he was. Though our animal keeper noticed and cautioned him from entering the restricted area, he scaled the fence, he jumped into the enclosure. We take the utmost precaution to prevent such incidents. We will once again review the measures of security to prevent another one in the future. The zoo staff tried to rescue him. They were not successful.
did they?
Well, the lion.
I mean, like, what do you do? All right, so you have jumped in, Miles. This lion has grabbed you and dragged you to a corner.
He
and I
dragged-
can say I
That's exactly what
tried
happened.
to help.
Immediately, the lion
Yes.
attacked him, drug him into a corner, and mauled him to death under 10 minutes. And he died from excessive bleeding caused by the wounds. Footage was shown online following the attack. There were a lot of people who actually witnessed this. After that, the lion was locked in the night house where it normally sleeps. But since the incident happened the way it happened, they did not put the animal down, obviously.
No, you jumped into the cage.
The man's relatives, they have been informed of his death, and his body's been taken to the general hospital for a post-mortem examination.
Why? What are they looking
I wonder
for?
I wonder what happened here. Huh?
We're discovering the
Any guesses?
cause of death, excessive drinking, which led him to jumping into the lion cage, and then he kind of finished it.
So our question, big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Rob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
I was like 3 or 4. My brother and I were messing with a sleeping German Shepherd, and I went up and kicked it.
What?
And it bit me in the face, yeah.
You went up and kicked a sleeping German Shepherd.
Yeah, I wasn't too bright then.
How old were you?
3?
Okay.
okay,
All
okay,
right.
yeah.
All
Most
right.
people are not that bright at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, it latched onto my head, and I had like 60-some-odd stitches.
How do you remember this?
Vaguely. I vaguely remember just all the red.
Do you remember if someone came in and you know, took your head out of its mouth, or how did this go down?
I don't remember, but I do know that they had the dog put to sleep because they didn't know that I had kicked it. And obviously I couldn't tell them.
Did anyone know that you would kick the dog, or is that something you just kept under wraps?
My twin brother, but I mean...
So this was the family dog?
No, actually it was my parents' friend's dog. We were over at their place, and yeah.
Now, did they put the dog down or anything, or what?
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yeah, they did, because they just thought it was an unprovoked attack.
Oh, man. You know you can never tell them that, right? I mean, like, ever.
Exactly.
It could be 30 years from now, like, you just don't bring it up, man.
Do you have any scarring from that incident?
I do. Every time, around my eye, underneath my eye, whenever I get tired, it just really darkens up and you can see it.
So he got you pretty good. You had a small little head. He got his whole mouth around it.
You get that teeny tiny kid head.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a tough one, though, as you kicked him.
Right. I mean, I know. But that's such a horrible story. They end up putting the dog down.
Right.
I think you hit him right on the button, if you know what I mean. Like to get kicked in the butt is one thing, but I think you might have stuck your toe right into the button, and he just jumped up with a natural reaction like anyone does.
Yeah, if you're asleep.
Sure.
And someone kicks you.
But not like in a cheek. I think he hit the bullseye.
Right.
I mean, I think
that would do it.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, look, it's tougher with dogs, right? They're not cobras, apparently. Right, so they just bite. Like, I watched a couple dogs get into it this weekend. One smaller dog was kind of annoying the bigger dog. And the bigger dog, I don't think that dog was trying to hurt him. He just kind of snapped, like, F off.
Yeah.
But it did hurt the smaller dog.
I heard that smaller dog cost, was it $900 at the emergency?
About $1,000, yeah.
$1,000, yeah.
Yeah, it let out one of those gut-wrenching squeals I've heard in a very long time.
Okay, yeah, good times. Well, as long as the dog's okay. Big or small would bit you or tried to bite you, 206-803-ROCK.
The shriek in that dog, the only thing I can put it close to, and I've told this story, is years ago down at Cage Sport MMA.
Yeah. Oh.
There's a guy on the ground, right? And the other guy has side control, right? So one dude's on his back, the other dude's like, side control. And he hit him with a hammer fist. And the way it hit, I guess, his auricle bone or something.
Yeah.
The dude just lets out a screech, and the ref just stopped the fight. But that dog screeching was about the closest to that pitch I have heard since then.
Yeah, dogs let you know when they're in pain. I think I've stepped on my dog's paw like twice.
Yeah.
Because I don't realize she's under the table or something. You walk in and step on it, and I mean, rawr. And you feel so bad. Like, dude, first of all, I know it did not hurt that bad. Don't make it so dramatic. But my God, yes, I feel as bad as you wanted me to feel.
Big or small would bit you or tried to bite you, 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Lucas. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How y'all doing today?
We're doing great, man. Thank you.
Good. It's not what bit me; it's what bit my mom. When I was about 5 years old, we lived in an apartment complex, and one morning my mom woke up with a spider bite on her right breast. And we went to the doctor to figure out that it was a hobo spider that bit her. She got it treated, got it taken care of. About 2 months later, she woke up again with another bite on her left breast.
Oh my God! Right by the butterfly tattoo.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. It's hard to recall, but one thing I do remember is the awkward moment sitting in the hospital room with my mom as a grown man touching my mom's boob, trying to figure out what went down and what spider it was and how to treat it.
I'm guessing that's in your memory more than anything else.
I wonder why that's just where the spider went for the goods.
Maybe she has great boobs.
Well, no, but I mean,
because he went for both. Man, I tell you, my mouth was bigger. I did both at the same time, like I saw your husband doing.
I did that, but nobody got put in the hospital.
You didn't do it right.
Yeah. Big or small would bit you or tried to bite you, 206-803-ROCK.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Brian is helping to make a difference through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
I was addicted to meth, sleeping in my car, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got off drugs, earned a bachelor's degree in theology, and have almost completed a master's in counseling. Today, I'm the director of outreach at the mission.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit ugm.org.
Our question, big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK. Steve, this one is hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses.
We had a caller called up and said when he was 3 years old, he got bit in the face by a German Shepherd that he kicked in the butt.
Correct.
All right. In from CNN.com. Commander Biden, President Joe Biden's family dog, bit U.S. Secret Service personnel at least 24 times.
Jesus.
At the White House and other locations, according to new documents obtained by CNN. Numbers does not include additional incidents previously reported, but the new documents obtained through the Freedom of Information Act reveal the extent to which the situation had become a serious workplace issue. So basically what they said was, the recent dog bites have challenged us to adjust our operational tactics when Commander is present. Please give the dog lots of room, an unnamed assistant special agent said. That warning came months before the dog was removed from the White House, with multiple biting incidents taking place in the interim. 270 pages of documents about this dog.
Jesus, man.
270. In October 2022, an unnamed Secret Service technician described an incident and said they were worried about the family pet's behavior escalating and that something worse was going to happen to others than the incidents that took place at the White House, at the Biden family home in Wilmington, Delaware, and Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, at Camp David, and in Nantucket, Massachusetts, where the family spends the Thanksgiving holiday.
What kind of dog is Commander?
He's a German Shepherd.
He's a German Shepherd.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, back to the kid.
Apparently, he'll just bite you wherever he is.
God almighty, man. Maybe get a different dog.
I think that you need to. The dog needs definitely some kind of training or something before it hurts somebody.
Well, I think now he's banned from the White House.
He is.
Yes.
That's what they said.
Right. And, like, I get they were like, well, he's older. He's not used to these people. It's like, well, somebody that knows that dog has to take care of it because obviously he keeps biting Secret Service agents.
I know.
And they didn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
They signed up to protect the president, not get bit by the dog.
And that's the thing. Like, I'll take a bullet for you, sir, but seriously, your goddamn dog.
They need one of those TV dog whisperers.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, right.
Who's a little smarmy looking dude?
Caesar. Caesar Milano?
Caesar, yes. Is it Caesar Milano?
Yeah.
The dog.
Do you think he would take on that challenge?
Milan. Caesar Milan.
Would he take the challenge on?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know.
Think he might be able to do that? Dog's
Dude,
crazy.
that dog, yeah. I can't.
I ain't getting near that.
I can do a lot, but I can't do that.
I'm going to take him back to my farm so that he can, interact with other dogs.
Yeah.
Our question, big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you?
Bad.
206-803-ROCK.
Oh, sorry. Bit him again.
Oh, my bad.
And I don't know. Mike's right. I don't know why. Like, I get the deal. I have signed up that I will protect the president at any cost. But if
not
his
with the
dog
dog.
bites me, I'm pissed.
Right. I will take a bullet for you, Mr. President, but not if you're pointing the gun at me and repeatedly shooting. There's only so much that I'm going to take.
I mean, look, man, you see it all the time in Baltimore, right? 'Cause crime's always crazy there. But, cops are telling someone to stop running. They threaten to shoot people. Guys don't care. They say, we will let the dog out. And these people stop dead.
Right.
Somehow dogs are just more terrifying than being shot. I disagree with that myself. But, yeah, once they said, we're going to let the dog out, guys
At what point?
absolutely freeze.
Well, I think if you're... I'm taking a leap here, but I feel like if you're getting chased by a cop and he pulls out his gun, maybe I have a better chance. But like with the dog, it's like
He's gonna get you.
He's gonna catch me. He's
not gonna miss.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's been waiting for this.
At what point does the president get somebody that comes in there and says, Mr. President, I apologize, but your dog has ended up in an altercation in a situation that could not be avoided, and unfortunately the dog did not make it out.
You need someone to just I don't care that you're the president, man. Your dog keeps biting him.
Also, no dog.
And nobody wants to be around someone whose dog keeps
Somebody
biting
tried to
them.
break into the White House. We had to take him down. Your dog was in the crossfire.
No dog has full-time care like that either.
No.
So you would think eventually, I mean, this dog's got 24-hour detail on the dog.
The dog's a D-bag.
No dog has 24-hour detail.
Right.
No dog is being watched every minute of their life. This dog is. They still can't get that crap.
That's what I'm saying. There's something wrong with this dog, man.
Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Joshua. Welcome to the men's room.
Good afternoon.
Hola.
So it's not necessarily me, and I cannot compare to that story by any means, but my son, brown recluse, ended up being a 8-inch wide infection. that we had to care at home, and the head of the wound came out like a .357 Magnum bullet. It was disgusting.
That sounds disgusting.
The head. Wait, now explain what that is.
So a round, a slug, like a bullet. It was about 3 inches long, 1/4 inch in diameter.
I didn't know that happened.
Is that standard for a brown recluse bite that they leave, I don't know, like a chunk of something in there?
Yes, the infection.
Oh, it's just the infection itself. Right. Jesus, dude, that is grosser than even I would have. All right.
Yes.
How long?
9-year-old boy who handled it very well.
How long did it take you to realize you'd been bitten? Because I'm reading about it now, and it says typically the symptoms start 2 to 8 hours after the bite, and it starts with like an open sore or an ulcer.
Yes, we thought it was MRSA.
Okay. So is this better than MRSA as far from your parent point of view? Like, okay, cool, it's a spider bite, not MRSA.
No, it was horrible. So no, we on the phone with the nurse, and she walked us through what to do. And luckily, he ended up okay, but he still got a scar 3 years later.
You know, and the problem with that is, like we had a guy call in yesterday, and he was bit down in Tacoma, and he almost died. You don't know where you were bit. With a spider, just like, being attacked by a cougar, they're gone. You don't know if that's in that kid's bedroom. You don't know if that is still somewhere in your house.
Right. Could have been anywhere.
You don't know if he got bit at school or wherever he is. So that, to me, is the weirdest thing about it. Like, if you have a pet snake and it gets out of its... it's probably somewhere in the house.
Sure.
But with a spider, you don't even know if it was in there to begin with, if it could bite you,
Was it in the bedroom? Right, anywhere.
I mean, and you can't find the damn thing.
You're trying to make Joshua feel better.
I'm just saying.
They're all over the place, Joshua.
You just don't know. And that's
God.
Because you would try to eradicate it if you knew.
So have there been any additional complications from the spider bite? Because the guy that called yesterday, we do not know what kind of spider bit him. Like I said, 4 years later, it led to his kidneys starting to fail. So, I mean, do the doctors say, like, hey, keep an eye on this kid, man, because something else might happen down the road?
Thank God, no, nothing happened.
Okay. All right, good. Good.
He is good.
Okay. So apparently, if you're going to be bitten by a spider, the brown recluse is the way to go.
I actually had a buddy telling me a story when he got bit by a brown recluse, and he got bit on the foot. I don't remember how it happened. Might have been while he was sleeping.
It was at Joshua's house, yeah.
Yeah. So, same sort of thing, though. It left an infection that he had to go to the hospital and get it treated for. And basically what it did is it started kind of coagulating the blood inside of the vein, right?
Right.
And one thing that they told him to do to basically nurse it out, they gave him the antibiotics to shut it down and basically keep it the way it was. But he had to soak his foot in hot water and then kind of massage the wound in order to kind of let it start backing itself out, right, bit by bit. And the doctor actually told him, like, whatever you do not grab it when you see, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be a chunk that's coming out of you. Don't grab it and pull. Of course, he was in high school at the time, so he didn't listen, and he grabbed that thing and he started pulling. And this thing was on kind of the ball of his foot right here when he pulled it. He felt that thing snake from the other side of his foot all the way through as he pulled that thing out.
Oh,
yeah.
How long did he say this thing was when he finally got it out of there? You're talking about 6, 7 inches?
Pretty much, dude.
Ew, man.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that it coagulates the blood inside the vein when he did it, but yeah, it was just...
I did not realize it would go that deep.
Yeah, good times.
Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite? U-206-803-ROCK.
Thank you for sharing, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Gus. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
I remember meeting you at trivia night years ago, and then Ted, I met you at the Snorting Elk restaurant or Snorting Elk Bar and Grill.
The Snorting Elk.
That sounds like a Ted bar. The Snorting Elk. Was I hosting trivia when we met?
Oh, this was another one. This was down in Seattle by our houses.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, but I work at ski area, and I got bit by many dogs and a cat once or twice, but this was a snow cat.
What is a snow cat? Is it just what I'm picturing, a big white cat?
It's what grooms out the lifts for the ski area. Like a big rake dragging it around so you can ski better.
It's a piece of equipment.
But,
is that like what makes the groomers groomed?
Within a context, Jeremy Renner and I have something in common. We almost got...
you almost got killed with one of those.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Looking at it now.
We got it way worse than I did, but nonetheless.
Okay. How did you end up almost getting crushed by this thing?
Oh, just bad placement, really bad snow, real icy conditions, and things split off. Hunk of machinery fell off, and just crushed my wrist and broke it.
Dang.
Okay.
You're right. Jeremy Renner definitely had it worse than you.
So you're saying working at a ski resort can be dangerous?
Oh yeah, every day pretty much. And but it's interesting because that's how I had to put it into context for some people. Like, oh, I know who Jeremy Renner is. I know what happened there. So.
Well, why are dogs biting you on a ski slope?
Well, that was another time. That was several other times I've been attacked by critters.
How many times do you think you've been attacked by critters?
Oh, dogs at least 4 times.
Is there anything that provokes them? Like, dogs hate my brother. Cannot explain it, but if they see him, they want to kill him. With the one exception of the dog I have right now, is the first dog I've seen that does not want to openly maul my brother. Right. Every other dog I've ever seen, they want to bite him. So what is it about you think the dogs want to bite your ass?
Well, what I've noticed is that, dogs sense pheromones way better than we do. We don't even know we're emitting these pheromones, and it's basically fear. They do sense that. So,
are you scared of dogs in general?
Intensive, you don't know it's going to, you don't think it's going to attack you. You might, in the back of your mind, you might think, but the dog's like, oh yeah, this guy's doing something bad.
Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of any animals that are wild animals up on a mountain that have chased a skier down the hill, like a bear or a elk
not so much on ours, but I've seen some videos lately where they come trucking across the lift while they're trying to cross the ski area or something, and someone gets in their way. But we definitely have a couple. There's a couple critters up there that might get you. A friend of mine did get snacked on by a fox. He just told me the story the other day. He's feeding it a little bit and got bit in the fingers. I'm assuming that marmots don't attack people. No, marmots are pretty mellow. They do have teeth, but that's definitely something. If you get them cornered, anything with teeth will get you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic because I know where you are. I'm like, Greenwater, I think, is the most elk I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah, and it's a migratory route, so there's cougars.
Okay,
and,
well.
That definitely got some animals up there. I did see a wolverine there last year. So
a wolverine?
Yes, sir.
How big was that?
He was full of food in October, so he's pretty wide, so it's hard to tell, but he wasn't a nice critter.
No, those things are killing
Wolverines are mean.
Yeah, they're kind of known for that.
He didn't snarl at me, but he looked at me with surety. He was like, oh, I got room in my belly for you, too, if you want.
How close are you to this wolverine?
Oh, 20 yards, maybe.
And how fast can those things haul ass? Say, if you have a 20-yard head start, it just comes after you.
This one was full of elk guts and carrion, so it was slow moving. But when I saw it, I'm like, "What are you?"
Now, do you know? Did they reintroduce those to this area within the last decade, or did they just start showing up? And they were.
I can't imagine people wanting to relocate wolverines.
They just started the population getting bigger because they live in the park, out here and stuff. So I think they just started getting more, habitat where they can live, more elk.
Because I remember the news story when they first spotted one, and they're like, "Oh my God, a wolverine!
Yeah,
like, what the hell's it doing here?" And apparently, they've been here.
What are they native to? I mean, I know Michigan and all that, but
they're not even in Michigan anymore.
Okay.
It's kind of the funny part is we kept giving the Michigan fans crap about that. So there a lot of them are out here, like Montana, Idaho.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I did not know. Like, to me, Wolverine's always just this legendary creature. I've seen pictures, videos, and all that.
Minks, all those guys are
ferrets.
But also, it's weird because England has Wolverines.
Really?
Yeah, but somehow they're different. Ours are like Wolverines on steroids.
And what do they have, like candy ass steroids and meth?
Tiny ones.
Yeah, they're smaller. They don't seem nearly as aggressive, and people are like,
"That's where miniature horses come."
Yeah, it's like, it's a Wolverine. We're like, Jesus, it's a Wolverine.
Big or small would bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROUGH.
And I saw a funny video the other day. It was just like the Wolverine in England, and it's like real ones. Then one had a top hat, and then it's the one in America, and he's like in a trap going nuts,
right?
Like, and I'm pretty sure their jaws are super strong, and they can bite through bone.
So, do you think then, like with the X-Men, right? When Wolverine's the badass, he's that guy.
Yes.
Do you think in England it's kind of chuckle worthy? So I call him the hedgehog, the squirrel.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I did not know that. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Yeah, hey.
Hola.
Hey, hola, guys. First time on the radio talking to you.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
So, I'm a little nervous, but I'm going to tell you my story as a kid.
Okay.
So I was 9 years old. My dad was in the Navy, and we're down in California, living down there in Imperial Beach, California. And my dad built a cement little fish pond. So a Navy buddy of his told him we could go down Ventura Highway and get out of town and dry riverbeds out there. He can scoop up some minnow fish for free and put in this fish pond. Well, I'm a lizard hunter myself when I was a little kid, grab lizards. So my dad tells us when we go out there to catch a fish, he says, now don't mess around.
Hang on.
Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
No more brown words, but solid advice from your father, however.
Yeah, so anyways, I got bored and I start flipping over rocks anyways, looking for my lizards. The little snake under there, I just grab it real fast because I don't want it to get away. And it bites me in the finger and I sling it away. And my dad says, what was that? And I said, oh, just a stick. I threw the stick away and I went up and sat by my mom. Stick my hand in my pocket and it's hurting bad. My finger, it bit me in the finger. A little snake. I'm sitting by Mom thinking, maybe it's not poison. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I'll get away with it. I won't tell nobody. And so I start feeling pretty bad. And we sit there for a while, and then my dad's done. We get in the car, and we're headed home. And my hand, I look at my hand. It's really big. My fingers are swelling up like I got a glove on. My stomach's hurting. So I just, Mom, stick my hand up there. Oh, my God, my mom blows up. My dad blows up. And they tell me to lay back in the back seat in my sister's lap and go to sleep and relax. Oh, so I'm laying back there in the car, and my dad's using all kinds of cuss words to build sentences with. My mom's saying, slow down or you're going to kill us all. And that's the end of my story.
So you didn't go to the hospital? Nothing?
After that.
All right. Okay.
No hospital visit. No ride back home. And what I got to say about that kid you were talking about with a dry bite, that cobra, he was lucky. If you ever get bit by a poison snake, keep it a secret.
Do you have any idea what... keep it a secret.
Yeah, that worked out well for you.
Yeah, it really did. Do you have any idea what kind of snake it could have possibly been?
It was dry riverbed, and it wasn't a rattlesnake. So I'm thinking a water moccasin, some kind of water moccasin.
Well, those are more poisonous than a rattlesnake.
Yeah, so that's even worse, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never forgotten that story.
Well, I'm glad you still have memory to be able to do it.
That's an important thing. Yeah. We, when we lived in Colorado, again, the new housing development being built in the prairie, so there were rattlesnakes everywhere, man. And in school, it's almost like, fire drills. We had the rattlesnake drills. And what's cool about little kids, or at least being a little kid, when you give them information, you just take it to heart. So no kids ever really panicked around snakes. They said, look, if a rattlesnake bites you, and they were real succinct, on average, you will have 24 hours to live. I do not know if that's true or not, but when you say that to a child, like you remember these. So they said, look, don't freak out. Don't get upset. It's going to hurt. But the more upset you get, the faster your heart pumps, and it spreads the venom quicker through your body. So I saw 3 kids get bitten in my year and a half living there, and they stayed dead calm because they always had the buddy system. Right. So it's like, all right, man, we hop on our bike, you ride home. Him and so-and-so, Scott got bitten by a rattlesnake. But the reaction from parents was unbelievable, man. And I don't mean just because their kid got bitten. I understand that, but like my father would see a rattlesnake out in the garden in the backyard. And I mean, into the garage, came up with this metal rake. And I mean, he beat this thing like it was personal. Yeah. Adults always freaked out. And all the kids are like, guys, we learn about this every day, man. If you get bitten, you don't drop dead. Just go to the freaking hospital. That's why they're there.
My buddy's, he had a 4-foot long boa. You know, kind of bite and latch onto your arm and just gently wrap itself around you. Like it's practicing.
Just gently.
It was practicing to like strangle you.
So if you held a snake, it would bite you.
If you put your finger out in front of its face, it would come after you. But you could keep them on your lap.
Well, yeah, a lot of animals would do that.
So but it's not really painful at that stage of the game.
All right.
I'm telling you, the thing that hurt the most that's ever bit me is a horsefly on New Jersey Beach.
Yeah, they suck.
They're bad.
On Beach Island. I mean, I got bit twice.
Up on Rainier when you're doing day hikes.
Are they up there too?
Yes.
God, I hate
the
those things,
sting of how bad that hurt was just compared to being stung by an animal. This is an actual bite.
Sure.
I mean, that was probably. I mean, I'm just like you drop to your knees. It hurt so bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm with you. I hate those things. I don't know that I've gotten bitten by that much else.
Yep.
Thankfully.
Mm-hmm. Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
As we start into the new year, a lot of people are looking to get healthier. That includes Hero Bread, delicious real bread with benefits. Hero Bread have just launched their new recipe using heart-healthy olive oil. Hero Bread serves up 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, 5 to 11 grams of protein, and high fiber in every delicious serving. Made with natural ingredients, Hero Bread supports gut health, promotes weight management, and helps maintain blood sugar. All with no compromise on the taste, texture, and bready goodness you expect from your favorites. Now they're listening to their fans and updating their recipe with olive oil, an antioxidant-rich oil that's been shown to reduce cholesterol and minimize the risk of heart disease. Our products are just like the flour-based foods you're used to because they are made the exact same traditional way, using 4 key ingredient components and none of the bad stuff. Try it today with code IHM10 for 10% off your purchase at hero.co. That's code IHM10 for 10% off at hero.co.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet the New Balance Fuel Cell 4040 V7, the choice of elite ball players like Michael Harris. Engineered for responsiveness and agility, this versatile option is built for speed demons who demand peak performance. With fuel cell foam underfoot and a synthetic mesh upper, experience unparalleled breathability, comfort, and a secure fit as you round the bases. The nitrogen-infused fuel cell midsole propels you forward with every step, ensuring you stay ahead of the game. Learn more and purchase the 4040 at newbalance.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Your chance to win tickets to see Pearl Jam coming up at 4:20. We will give you the secret word. You will text that to 206-803-ROCK. 4:20 is the time for your chance to win tickets to see Pearl Jam. Our question, big or small, would bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How are y'all doing today?
Doing great, man. Thank you.
All right. So my story comes in about freshman sophomore year. I'm on the Amy farm. I'm the mating season for our hogs, so we're trying to breed them, raise them, sell them. You all know the whole 9 yards. Well, we get done and everything. We're separating all the babies, and we're trying to get our boar off the female pig. And he's not so keen on the idea of dismounting. And when we eventually get him dismounted, he just throws himself to me, looks at me, and then tries to bite me in the leg.
A boar?
Yes. Male pig.
Well, you interrupted his sexy time.
I mean, you physically have to remove this boar from having sex with the sow.
Yes.
Do you have to turn him like a corkscrew? Because that's the shape of his penis.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, did you not anticipate being bitten? I mean, like, if I'm having sex and someone forcibly removes me from my wife, I might bite you too.
Yeah, it's going to be violent.
I mean, I kind of anticipated, but I didn't think he'd be that quick as how big he was.
Okay, I got you.
He was a big boy. Ooh. But yeah.
That's a weird one.
That is a weird one. I would never... I can't imagine 2 animals having sex, and I say, you know what? I'm going to go over here and stop this.
I would just go to the dog trick. I'd pull out a hose. Is that not... I mean, if I'm having sex and someone starts squirting me with a hose, I'm probably going to stop, too.
I mean, if you're a dog, maybe you don't care, but you're right. I would not physically get engaged with that, because I would fully expect to get bitten.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would have to be a small dog. But, like your dog, if it was a dog that size, obviously I know your dog's female, but I wouldn't stop a dog like that.
But even if it's a small dog, I mean, the other ones, to me, that are the ones that are most likely to bite, 2 chihuahuas, I'm not going to mess with
My
that.
7-pound cat, man, that thing hurt like hell. He bit me constantly.
I just remember Tigger, who was a Scottish Terrier. It's not the biggest dog, but if he ever got out, he'd run down the street to Zuzu's house and
get it on,
start humping that dog. So, I mean, I just feel like with a small dog, you can at least, tug it off.
Did you ever physically have to remove Tigger? Oh, you did?
I mean, it was good as gold.
That was his whole goal in life, wasn't it? To run down the road and have sex.
I guess, but I mean, he was neutered,
right? Yeah, but still,
yeah, he just loved that dog.
Nothing gonna stop me.
So was Miles the dog that humped pillows. I don't understand how that works.
He got after it.
Big or small would bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Lawrence. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, hola.
Hola.
So this happened like 30 years ago. I go to a buddy's house. I go over there to smoke some pot. We go there and we're sitting there, and my other buddy, who is his roommate, is sleeping inside his room. The guy's he's a big guy. He's like 6'3", 6'4", big man. We're smoking pot. All of a sudden, we hear this sound. Woo! Woo! We're like, what the heck is that? So we go and we trace the sound into this guy's bedroom. We go in there, and there's a brown recluse that's draped across his hand. Now, this thing looks like a tarantula. It's huge. I've never seen one that big in my life. So I go, stay there. And the thing is draped across his hand, and it's sleeping with him on his hand. So I run in the kitchen. I grab a glass jar, and I come running back, and I come up to it. I'm like, how am I getting this thing inside this jar? And my friend says, screw it, move. And so I move, and he flings it. And as he flings it, his hand, it bites him on his thumb. The spider hits the drapes, falls on the ground. I catch it inside the jar, and his thumb immediately starts rotting. So
it starts to rot.
Yes.
That quickly.
That quickly.
Damn.
So I take him to the emergency. We give him an emergency, and he's in skin graft surgery for 2.5 hours.
Jesus.
After the surgery, the doctor comes up to us and he goes, so you understand that you're going to be attracting spiders for the next 5 years. And we're like, why? And he goes, because the potency of the brown recluse venom is in his form, and the pheromones will make other spiders attract to you. because they smell like death. They smell the death, I guess. So fast forward 9 months later, me and that guy and a couple other buddies, we go to another friend's house, and we're going to go inside the garage. There's like 9 of us. It's Friday night. We're all going to go inside and get high. So we go in the garage, and I go, I'm not sitting next to this guy. And they go, why? I said, because he attracts spiders. And they're like, no way. And they get my friend's like, screw you, and grabs a chair and goes and sits in the middle of the garage, and sure as heck, a spider comes crawling out and going right over towards him. It was the wildest thing in the world.
But was he able to keep his thumb?
Yeah, he went through. So after his skin graft surgery, he had physical therapy for like over a year.
Jesus. Just so he could give a thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is the physical therapy with your thumb?
You can do it now, Fonz.
So you're telling me if a brown recluse bites you and puts enough venom in your ass, that smell will attract more spiders to you?
Yes. It stays in your body, in your system for 5 years, the doctor explained to us, and you'll attract spiders wherever you go.
Sounds to me like you got to stop going over to your buddy's house and getting stoned.
I would tell my buddy, like, man, look, I do not like spiders. I like you. I will not see you for 5 years.
Big or small, would bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
It's nice if that happened with hot chicks.
What's that?
Yeah, sometimes you pull off one that you don't really know how you did it.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah, then it's like, oh, good news. For the next 5 years, women out of your league will be attracted to you.
Cool. It'll be the greatest 5 years of your life.
Right?
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
So I got stung by a stingray.
A stingray?
Where did it get you?
That's kind of the way they bite.
Wait, say that again?
I said that's kind of the way they bite.
Yeah, with their tail. I mean, Steve Irwin in here for a reason, or Irwin.
Irwin, yeah. Where did it hit you?
In the back of the calf.
So you stepped on the damn thing?
Yep, I was shuffling my feet. They told me to shuffle my feet, but it didn't seem to work.
Were you in the Gulf of Mexico?
Not the Gulf, but I was in between Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, great.
Okay. Do you have it? So it wasn't the biggest one in the world. Did you feel it? Did it sweep you off your feet? In other words, did you step directly on it?
I did on about its head, and I felt it. The stung I felt first, and then I felt the wiggle of it, getting away from me after it stung me.
Yeah. How bad did that freak you out?
Real bad. I mean, I didn't surf for another week.
Oh.
So how bad was the wound area?
It just a big red spot, but the burning sensation in the whole lower leg was the worst. It was, deep burn.
And do you have to go to the doctor for this, or is it just something you just have to wait it out?
The locals gave me a local plant to boil, and then, after I boiled it, the local plant, and then applied that to the wound, and it eventually, helped ease the swelling and the pain.
Well, those barbs, depending on how long they are, the reason that Steve Irwin died is because the barb was probably 3 to 4 inches.
Yeah.
And when the barb came up, it penetrated, it either hit an artery or hit his heart or punctured, whatever it did.
It went to the chest.
I feel like it hit him right in the heart.
Yeah, it was just a bullseye shot. But,
I cannot believe that's how he died.
Typically
I mean, just look, because you watch him jumping on top of crocodiles and all this nonsense, other animals. So when I heard, wait a minute, he's chilling on the beach. Well, not chilling on the beach. He was out in the water, and a stingray killed him.
Yep.
Damn, man.
Yeah, exactly. Pierced in the chest by a short-tail stingray barb.
Tell how long the barb is? Or just, I guess that's all we need to know.
I just think it just hit the spot.
Damn. I mean, it's not unheard of for them to kill.
Sure.
It's just very rare that somebody dies from it. Yeah.
But of all the people you wouldn't expect, I just would not have thought it would be Steve Irwin that succumbs to a stingray barb.
No.
To the chest.
Big or small, would bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Deborah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello. How are you guys?
Hola.
Hola. Yeah, so I lived in Lake Half-Moon City, Arizona when I was very young. I was 10. And there's all sorts of animals out there. And I think the most vicious one was probably the donkeys or the burros that roam the whole area. But we'd go out and chase the lizards. And nobody told us that Gila monsters were very dangerous and very toxic.
Yeah, they're one of 2 venomous reptiles on Earth.
Right. And I'm like going, what in the world is going on here? So we're chasing them. We're playing with them. And we've done that for years. And then all of a sudden, I got bit. And my mom says, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
Where did it bite you?
On my hand.
Okay.
Yep, right on the fatty tissue next to my pinky finger.
Right where you tried to grab it.
Right, I tried to grab. We were chasing them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it didn't jump up and decide to bite your hand.
No. We were trying to grab them.
Okay.
Because we like to pull with them. And most of them were like really mellow, but this one was not. And it was not going to have it. So it bit me. And we went to the hospital just for, just do a wound check. And, oh, don't worry about it. And then 3 months later, it's like, these things are totally toxic. You cannot get bit by a Gila monster and have it be something that's just going to go away.
Right.
And then it was probably, I don't know, like 14 years later, my son adopts 24 years later, my son adopts a kitten. And it happened to be a pixie bobcat, a little tiny bobcat. And I was only in the house for like 2 seconds, and it leached onto my hand, and my hand swelled up like a balloon. It looked like a football. So I went to the hospital, and they said, nope, you're going to come in every day and get antibiotics. I'm going, oh no. Yeah, so those pixie bobs, their mouths are nasty. They're dirty.
Yeah. Cats are not good if they bite you.
No, I didn't know that though. I mean, I haven't bitten my cats, but my cats, like when I'm roughing them up, but not this cat. But it took him 5 minutes to get the thing off my hand.
And is it just clamping down the whole time?
Absolutely.
And what do you do? Are you screaming or are you staying calm?
I'm staying calm.
Okay.
Yep, I'm staying calm, but it didn't matter. I mean, the cat was not going to let go until it was ready to let go.
So did you get infected or did that go away?
Oh, it was hugely infected. Yeah, so I was in the hospital every day for almost 3 weeks getting antibiotics injected into this port they put in my arm.
So was the cat bite in the end worse than the Gila monster bite?
Oh, the cat bite was much worse.
Okay. See, that's crazy because we have a story about a guy in Colorado who had a pet Gila monster. He died after the thing bit him.
Did he get rid of that cat?
No, he still has it.
Okay, good.
Do you still go to visit him?
Yeah, and he won't bite me anymore.
Well, thank God. Okay, all right.
Why do you say it like that? What did you do to this cat?
Well, I picked him up and booted him across the room.
Okay, that did the trick. That's fair.
Yeah, the guy was in Colorado, 34 years old. He had 2 pet Gila monsters. One of them bit him. They called 911 with regards to an animal bite about 11:45 in the evening on the 12th. The bite was later determined to be that of the Gila monster. The victim transported to the hospital. He died there 4 days later. This was a medical-only call that evening. Agents did not respond out. Unfortunately, the 34-year-old male victim did not survive over the weekend.
Damn.
Now, what they did was they took the Gila monster to a lab at the University of Northern Colorado, and they test venom. They have extracted some, and they're going to study it to get a clearer understanding of how it caused the man's death, because although Gila monsters are poisonous, as you said, most of the time, their bites are not fatal to humans.
Most of the time.
But that did not happen this time. Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Gary. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, my brothers.
Hola.
My story involves a time back when I was in the Navy early. By the way, I have called you guys a few times and been listening to you forever. I usually call on Thursdays for Big Dummy. But anyway, back to my story. So I'm dating my future wife. I have the background of the last story in my head, so it's freaking me out. I was bit on the belly by a horse.
How did that happen?
It brought me to my knees. Well, we were visiting this place called El Caballo in the Philippines when I was on deployment there. And I had some carrots I was feeding to the horses. I ran out. I petted this one horse on the head, and I started to step away, and I noticed he dropped his head and stuck his right into my stomach and bit me right on the belly button.
How bad was that?
It was miserable. Like I said, dropped me to my knees immediately. I started turning around. And I started looking for a stick because I was going to beat the horse. And the horse taker was standing over about 5 feet away. He goes, "Sir, that's not going to make any matter. The horse forgot what he did." And I was like, well, I didn't. Anyway, it hurt.
Yeah, I bet it would. Yeah.
I've heard that horse bites really, really suck. Yeah. Just some people like feeding it apples or carrots or whatever. And I would hear this all the time as a kid, right? And just the amount, no venom, nothing like that. Just how bad it hurts.
Their
but then
teeth
every once
are
in a while,
huge.
Yeah,
they're huge.
4 times the size of human teeth, But anyway, they would bring horses like to the elementary school, and the kids could feed it. And I never wanted to do it because the only thing I'd heard is like, "Hey man, if he grabs that carrot wrong and bites into you, it sucks."
Look, you saw me as soon as we started talking about it, right? Palm up. All your fingers flat, your thumb out.
Oh, is that what they taught you to do?
Yeah, because you got it right. Because their teeth are so big, they'll come down and you'll feel it. Because I fed horses before, but yeah, if you just fed it like holding it like a ball, it's gonna bite one of your fingers.
Yeah, that's why. Like as a kid, they'd bring the horse, and it was exciting to see a horse. You're like 9 years old or something. But like, you want to feed it? Like, nah.
And if they turn around, they're either going to kick you or pee on you.
Yeah,
dude. I always talk about going to Chincoteague Island to see the wild ponies when they swim across. The McDonald's there has a couple of ponies in a pen. And like the old school machines, you put a quarter or two in and you get stuff out of them.
Yeah.
This one, you just get feed out of it and you feed the horses. But like one of my babysitters when I was a kid, she like took care of people's stalls and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I was kind of used to feeding horses. So we thought it was awesome.
You should go to the Olympic, what is it? Took the kids out 3 years ago, the Olympic.
Is it something Quest?
I don't remember it. I mean, I cannot remember the Olympic Animal Farm animals. Anyway, you go, you drive through, you feed all these animals, and most of them are pretty cool, but they do have these big ass bison. But there's one particular bison would not. I know, Ted, that is for you.
Good work.
This one particular bison / buffalo would not pull its head out of the window, right? Because I'm feeding him bread, but as I'm feeding, it was okay. Big, nasty ass tongue, but he's drooling all over my legs and everything kind of sucked. And you're trying to figure out what to do because every time he would eat some of this bread, and he was pretty gentle how he took it, but the size of his teeth. And that's not what bothered me. What bothered me was at some point, because now the kids are like, "Well, Daddy's not leaving." I'm like, "Guys, I understand that. This is like a 4,000-pound animal. I got to figure out how to get it out of this car without it freaking out and biting me, man." I'm like, look at its teeth. So finally, it just was pacing the car the whole time, but its head, again, is in the window. So finally, I put my hands on his head, and it's like pushing the side of a truck. You know what I mean? And this little black eyeball shifts over to me, and I'm like, "Okay, buddy." I'm trying to talk, and that boy's trying to push his head up. Dude, you can't push it up. He eventually pulled his own head out, but I just kept looking at his teeth like, "Please do not bite me, man."
Seaside, Oregon, they have an aquarium there where you can feed the seals. You basically buy a pack of sardines, and you just sit there and you hold them up there. Seal came up, and it was the same guy. This guy's following me back and forth. I'm trying to find another seal. He's on me, right? So I put up the second sardine, and he goes, and full takes 3 or 4 of my fingers. I'm hold on to the tail.
Yeah.
Into his mouth. But he was intuitive enough to know that those were my fingers, and he did not bite down on my fingers, and he kind of jumped off for a minute, and I gave it to him again, and
really?
He took it. And I was like, "Thank you for realizing that was not fish, because those were my fingers."
How long were you thinking I'm about to lose my fingers?
Here's the thing. I could not feed any of the other seals. He would not allow it. He was the only one. He would get into a fight. He would push
Could
the other
other people feed the other seals?
Sure.
So you're the guy.
You're the guy. That whole box.
He just focused.
That's it. Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This spring, break away and visit Fort Collins, Colorado. Seeking a culinary escape? Local restaurants offer exclusive specials during Great Plates of downtown Fort Collins. Love live music? FOCO MX is a 2-day festival with hundreds of Colorado artists. Eager to be entertained? The Lincoln Center hosts comedian Mike Birbiglia and an evening with John Cusack. Plan your travels at visitfortcollins.com. Fort Collins, where adventure casual is a way of life.
Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Wes. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
What's happening, fellas?
Enjoying it. How are you?
Yep, doing the same.
Nice.
Hey, so I've been bit by quite a few things, but, animal-wise.
Like what? Give us a quick rundown of different things that have bitten you. Because I was going through my personal Rolodex. I don't have a lot. I really don't. Cat.
Yeah, I've been dogs.
Parrot.
Been one, I don't know, probably a dozen times or so, but most of the time for getting in the middle of dog fights, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Being where I shouldn't have been. Nothing serious, though, a couple punctures. Cats, crazy cats. One crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Problems. Yeah. But the thing that I really remembered after a couple callers ago, the breeding boar.
The breeding boar.
The boar that's on top of the peg.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I had one latch a hold of me. I was like 12, 13, and I raised on a farm, and my grandpa, we always just raised a couple, just to, brings it over. And this thing looks like a Russian boar. It's got no ears, because they were lost at the frostbite, and he was rough, right? And I was like, I'm thinking, I don't know, Grandpa, this thing. And anyways, we unload it, and it, no fight. He comes in, checks out the ladies. He's like, hey, checking out the chow. He's like, this ain't too bad. Sitting there scratching him. Yeah, ain't so bad. I mean, it looks rough, but he's cool. So Grandpa and his buddies start talking. I'm just a young kid sitting there listening to the old timers, and the rail of the hog pen's about waist high. Just a perfect height to kind of throw an ass cheek on and a little bit of a leg.
Right.
Because they root around and do that. He starts kind of rooting at my thigh, and I was like, hey, what's up, dude? And I'm sitting there looking at him. And then, he latched on, and then picked up.
What is going on?
It's like 2 days of this.
Yeah, well, your phone keeps fading in and out, man.
Call back if you can. Sounds like you bitch in the ass. That's wild.
That hasn't happened a ton, but it's happened
Well,
the last 2 days.
the same exact time, too. It was like this time yesterday.
Was it?
Well, we had 2 calls in a row.
Right.
Fading in, fading out.
Well, the one guy was on a speakerphone, and this dude, like the guy yesterday, just keeps quiet. Yeah, a little bit louder. Yeah,
well, you talk about...
it's like he's on a real slow rocking chair.
Okay, listen to this story. So he said that he girlfriend bit him one time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we go to Florida, where a guy almost lost his leg. He could have died from a rare flesh-eating bacterial infection, and that was developed after he was bitten in the thigh during a family fight. Now, the guy's 53 years old. His name is Donnie Adams, and he is a funeral home assistant in a Tampa suburb. So he goes to the ER mid-February to treat a bump the size of a dollar coin on his upper left thigh. Sent home with the tetanus shot, antibiotics, but the injury got worse over the next few days, got red, swollen, painful to touch. His thigh almost looked like an orange peel because of the swelling that was underneath it. By day 3, the leg was swollen, it felt warm, and I had problems with mobility and everything else, he said. So he ended up surviving a flesh-eating disease that had begun destroying part of his leg. Adams told the doctor he sustained the bite while breaking up a family altercation.
Good Lord.
Now, he says, I pulled them off of each other, and in the process, I got bit. So when I saw him in the hospital, you could see the bite mark on his thigh. It had teeth marks. I was very convinced this guy is telling the truth.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
Why would you lie about that?
Well, here's the thing about Donnie Adams, who got bit. He declined to say what sparked the family dust-up or identify which relative bit him. Family is everything. Sometimes things go down in families. I'm a man of faith. People can be forgiven, and that's the way I feel about it. It was a family event that went sour between two people, and even though I got in the middle of it and I got injured, it doesn't mean I'm going to hate my family over this. Adams said he was likely only a day or two from needing an amputation from the human bite.
I think that they should probably go tell that family member, brush, floss, something, man.
Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
What kind of infection did it say?
A flesh-eating bacteria.
Because of the bite.
Yeah.
From a person.
So whatever's in that dude's mouth, man. Not that anyone's mouth is that clean, but Jesus.
Florida, family event, there's a fist fight, you bit somebody. Like, I'm envisioning what this guy looks like.
Me too. And I feel like we've checked all the boxes. Yeah. Florida, family, Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, let's see here. I got two little quick ones for you. The first one, I got bit by a parakeet at my mother-in-law's house because he was trying to get my Uzel's chicken.
That's where the fight.
I mean, look, I got to side with the parakeet on this one, man.
Isn't that cannibalism in a way?
Is it, though?
Just a little bit. Like my mother-in-law was like, oh, yeah, no, if you have chicken, she'll bite you. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, yeah, that's like her crack food. If she sees it, she'll hop across the room until she gets to the closest person and just dive for it.
Now, is this specifically Ezel's or anyone's fried chicken?
If it's Ezel's or Heaven Sent.
Right,
well, that's the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Seriously, so even the parakeet, it's like, I don't care about KFC. I don't need Bojangles. If you got Heaven Sent or Ezel's,
Dude,
I'm on it.
I kid you not. When I was working in the detail shop, I remember looking over. There was a whole group of birds that were all pecking at something, and I shoot them away, and it was another one of their little brethren that was laying down there, all a skeleton. They are cannibalistic. They do not care.
Oh, and the pigeon.
But if you eat a monkey, is that cannibalism? Like,
I mean,
we're all primates, but if I eat a gorilla, I'm not a cannibal. I'm just a horrible human being.
A lot of people struggle, even if you're hunters, with eating primates.
Mike, we saw that pigeon fly into the building here and die. It hit the ground. The next time we went outside, seagulls were all over.
Ripping this thing to shreds.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's definitely humans that eat primate.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, it's not that far
But
off.
they're not cannibals.
I gotta ask you before you move on to your next story. Between Heaven Sent and Ezel's, I've never been to Heaven Sent. Is there a better one, more so than the other?
Man, that's really hard. I tend to go more towards Heaven Sent just because of the sides and because, funny enough, they carry Faygo and it's pretty tasty.
Oh, you're a juggalo. Yeah, sure. Okay, what was your other one?
So the other one, I was at a funeral up in Vancouver, BC for my aunt, and we went to my cousin's house for the reception and all of that. Well, she replaced all of her grass with clover because she doesn't have to cut it and all of that. And she said, "Yeah, just stay on the path, and you'll be fine." I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that means. So me just getting pissed drunk and all of that, I just hang out my bare feet on the clover. Well, it turns out that in the clover was a ton of fire ants.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm like, just staying there, having my rum and coke, and just having a good old time. And I'm like, what the hell? My feet just, really hurt. I was, standing on pins and needles. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I looked down, and it's just a swarm of little tiny red ants all over my freaking feet.
Were you barefoot?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is in the summertime.
How do you go to a funeral?
Fine question. When you put it like that, yeah.
Eating fried chicken barefoot in the yard. Somebody died.
You know how to party, Justin. I like it. We should get barefoot, eat his L's, and eulogize.
My problem with his L's is just I can't get away from the rolls.
The rolls are ridiculous.
Are they as good as Heaven Sent? I mean, it's the same guy. I know that.
I mean, it's a Zell. It's his recipe.
Right, but he had to go
So
Heaven
he had
Sent.
to change the name to Heaven Sent. So I would imagine everything tastes exactly the same.
Sounds to
But
me like
he
he's
said
got
that-
different sides, though.
Yeah, which I was unaware of. I wonder if that was his, like, all right, fine, you keep the name, I'll call mine Heaven Sent, but here's some sides I'm to bring up to you.
No, I'm pretty sure he was opening more Azels and was like, I'll call it, like, that's my name. And then the other owner sued him. So he switched it to Heaven Sent.
All right. So what are the sides?
Tasty sides.
Tasty. Oh, they're tasty sides. Says it right there.
You got mashed taters, coleslaw, potato salad, baked beans, loose corn. Oh, boy, I like it.
Loose corn.
Loose corn woman. French fries, gravy, rolls, and cornbread muffin.
French fries. I've never had French fries there.
They have that at Azell's. They do.
That's his. I thought you were on Heaven
my
Sent.
daughter used to. This is Heaven Sent, but
That's Heaven Sent.
They have French fries at Azell's too, because my
okay.
daughter used to get the chicken strips and the fries. Oh, fried okra, mac and cheese, collard greens, gizzards, liver. They do wings and drumettes too.
Could I get the liver and some wings, please?
So that is different. Okay. Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
I just have to tell this story one more time.
What's that?
Years ago.
Is this collard greens?
No. Years ago, I'm backstage at a rap concert, right? And I'm with our old boss's wife who works for this record label. Yeah. So we're backstage. And there's another coworker of ours that's with us. So me and her are in like this little, like kind of, it's out at the gorge. Like that one bar, like I guess you got to have a pass to be back there because there's like catered food and stuff too.
Yeah.
So we're getting drinks, and it's the backstage area is catered by Azell's. So the other person that works with us is white as I am. We go over there. There's one piece of chicken left, and we look over, and there's this tall brother, and we're like. And before we get to say, like, you can have it, he goes, you don't have to give it to me. But, I mean, like, we all arrived around.
Are you sure?
Right, we all arrived around the same time, and it's like, well, he's like, you don't have to give it to me.
I just want a bite of the skin. Big or small, what bit you are trying to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Guess who it is, Ted?
James,
welcome to the men's room.
Is that me?
That is you.
If you are
Is your name James?
Awesome. Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I used to own a reptile business, so I've been bitten by countless amounts of things. I've been bitten by an anaconda, and spiders, everything you can think of. The scariest one was a gaboon viper, which if you Google what they look like, they're beautiful animals. They have the longest fangs of any other snake. Their fangs are about 2 inches long.
Jesus. And that's the one that bit you. Cool.
Yes. And they're actually very docile snakes. They're not that aggressive. Like, I won't handle, mambas or cobras because they're too fast and too aggressive, and I'm not really a snake guy. But
how are you in the reptile business, but not a snake guy? I feel like the two should go hand in hand.
Snake people bother me. I'm not that type of guy that'll walk down the street with a big snake around my neck and go, "You want to touch my snake?"
It's not the snakes; it's snake people.
Exactly. There's a few snakes that I like, but I don't have them anymore. It's not my shtick.
Okay.
But no, this thing reached around and sunk into my hand, and thankfully it had super long fangs, and it went all the way through my hand, and the venom squirted on the floor, and I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. It should have killed me. The thing, it should have killed me, but yeah, I just lucked out because it squirted right through my hand.
Did you keep this snake?
It was for sale. I like I said, I owned a business, so I imported animals from all over, Indonesia, South America, Africa, that sort of thing. So
Why don't you just go to an Amish farm and pick them up in a Tupperware container?
I didn't know the Amish sold.
Oh, that's all, they have one of the
Not
biggest
legally.
exotic animal rackets in the country.
Yeah, not legally.
Oh,
but
yeah.
dude, the Amish.
You want
if
some
you're
mess up, man?
Yeah, Ohio and Pennsylvania, like, just go to the right guys, say what you're looking for. They'll say, hang on a minute.
I want
And
an
then
elephant, and they'll bring it to you in a Tupperware container.
20 minutes, here you go.
Yeah, you're like, where the hell did you get that?
So did you actually see the fangs out of the other side of your hand?
Yeah.
And when the venom hits the floor, so you recognize, okay, say it did inject you with venom, how long do you have?
A couple of hours, maybe. They're pretty toxic. I've read. Sorry, you guys were talking about Gila monsters earlier, and I'm sorry, it's how it's pronounced is Gila.
Oh,
not
trust me,
Gila.
everyone on the text line let us know it's Gila. It's spelled with a G. We know now, yes.
And they're venomous.
Yeah.
And they're venomous,
Yeah,
not poisonous, yes.
But I used to. I bred those as well, and one of the coolest thing about them is you grab them by the neck, and they open their mouths up, and they don't have like a hypodermic needle fangs like snakes do. They have tracks on the back of their teeth, and they squirt the venom, and they're chewers, so they chew on you when they bite you. I've never been bitten by one because I'm not stupid. But the venom, they're when you grab them by the neck and they open their mouths up, it smells like flowers. It smells like almost like a rose, but kind of. It's very bizarre how fruity their venom smells. It's kind of cool.
Have you ever tripped on any of that toad stuff?
Any what?
Of the toad stuff, like the skin or what?
The secretions, yeah.
Yeah.
Like from a Colorado river toad?
I guess.
Okay. Yes.
And what is that trip like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. One time back in college.
No more questions, please. What is that trip like, man?
It's a lot like being super drunk on Mad Dog 2020. It's terrible.
Okay. That's not the description of
point taken.
Right.
I'll never do that.
Did you guys, yeah, there's a show I was watching for a
Toad
while
lickers.
called Hamilton's Pharmaceutical.
All right.
And the guy's he's like, look, I like psychedelics, this and that, but he goes around and tries them and figures out the science of them. That toad venom stuff was pretty
Mess him up?
Pretty wild, yeah.
Well, if he does all kinds of stuff and that messes him up, so.
Yeah.
Big or small, what bit you or tried to bite you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tom. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hola.
Hey, so back in 2006, I joined the Army, and I was stationed in South Carolina. And right in the last week of basic training, we had this combat training. And I wake up one morning, and my whole right arm is covered in bites. About 2 weeks later, I have about 4 grand mal seizures back to back.
Jesus, man.
So they sent me to the hospital, civilian hospital. Well, come to find out, I had gotten encephalitis, which is essentially like, I think the nerves in your brain start expanding or spreading apart, something along the lines of that. But they come to find that it was from a mosquito bite. So, like I said, this is 2006, and I still get minor seizures pretty often ever since then.
Well, that's comforting knowing you're driving right now.
Yeah, pretty comforting. Luckily, they only happen at night. But this has gone on since 2006, and then this past year, I actually had 2 more seizures that, grand mal seizures. So now here I am on medication. But
don't go swimming alone. There's a whole list of things.
So, do they suspect that this is something you're going to deal with for the rest of your life? Then,
nobody can really answer that. I've gone to a neurologist. They can't seem to find out what is causing it. But it all stemmed from that moment, and nothing scarred on the brain, nothing like that. Just here I am.
Man, that's
Jesus,
crazy.
man,
pretty crazy.
All from mosquitoes.
Essentially,
mosquitoes kill. That's the number one killer in the animal kingdom. I mean, that's
mosquitoes. That's
always number one every single time. You think of
it's not even close.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
Dogs, Deer show up just based on the fact that people get in
Cars,
car wrecks
right,
and stuff
right.
like that. But mosquitoes always atop that list. All right, still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less, and we got your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the men's room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
True story.
we were dead set on Mike. We were like, dude.
Hey, do you want to go see Pearl Jam? Pearl Jam coming to town. Climate Pledge Arena, May 28th and 30th. And it's time for the secret word. Secret. Thought I'd forget, didn't you?
Yes.
Secret word to text to 206-803-ROCK would be fly, as in pretty fly for a white guy.
Yes.
Fly. F-L-Y. That is the word you want to text right now to 206-803-ROCK. Your chance to win tickets to see Pearl Jam on one of their two shows at Climate Pledge Arena. Okay, do we have time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com?
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Liquor and Horrors, gentlemen, I've been bitten twice by critters. When I worked at a wildlife hospital, I was bit on 2 separate occasions by 2 different juvenile squirrels. One bite went through my nail bed, and the other bite caught the side of my finger. One bite got infected so bad it almost needed to be lanced and drained. Neither bite stopped me from volunteering, though. Still have some scar tissue to this day. That from Iris, the bus driver, who also refers to anything in the woods as a critter.
A critter. Yes.
A critter.
Critter.
And we found another critter.
We've been over this. They're all critters.
I know. I still have a size limit on my critter.
I do too.
Like
I
a
thought
moose
I
is
did.
not a critter. I know. We looked it up. Technically, even an elephant would be a critter. A blue whale would be a critter. But to me, like I said, if you're bigger than a coyote, you're now officially an
I think
animal.
30 pounds and under is a critter.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And anything over than that is something that you need to really pay attention
Like a
to.
chihuahua is a critter. A German shepherd is a dog.
Are we critters?
No.
Nah. As like your
We're too
kids,
big.
critters.
But I'm saying there's no size on critter. I was dead set against it, but there's anything could be a critter.
I feel like at some point people are called critters, depending on conversation and who you have the conversation with and who and what you're talking about. That critter over there.
I did not know him. I met a guy who went by Critter, and he looked exactly the way you picture a guy who goes by Critter to look.
Guys, I was bit by a wild flying squirrel here in Olympia.
What?
Kids found it, thought it was a sugar glider, so I picked it up to see if it was tame. It was not. They've got front teeth like a miniature beaver, sank in about 1/4 of an inch. Hard part was waiting to see if I had rabies. That was about 10 years ago. Good news. No rabies. As we
I like this. I had to look it up again. A living critter, whether wild or domestic. It can also mean a child when used as a term of sympathetic endearment. It can also mean an unfortunate person.
So all the things.
Sorry, little critter.
Right, or like you just see one of those people that looks all weird, jacked up. Like, look at this critter coming in.
We call that 3rd Avenue in downtown Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Critter Avenue.
On to the birthday request. All the guys, I'd love to do a shout out for my husband, Nathan, on his birthday. He loves your show and has been listening almost 10 years. So, Coach Ted, could you give him your best advice on cooking a steak? Thanks, guys. That from Holly.
All right. Do we know how old he is?
It does not say how old he is today.
All right. Depending on the age, son, you should know how to cook that steak. I think the easiest way, I don't know what you're working with at your house. Let's assume you don't have a grill or anything else to use. You could broil it. You could use a cast iron. But the easiest, simplest way, put it in your oven. Slowly bring that steak up to temperature. Again, low in the oven. You just kind of want to cook it to the medium or well, however you want it done. Then you take that thing out, sear it in a pan. You're going to have a nice little crust on it. It's called a reverse sear.
Steve, what is the temperature for a steak? Is it 160?
That's how you like it.
What temperature?
Medium rare.
About 160, 165.
Okay. All right.
You know what's funny?
I need a good meat thermometer. I don't have one.
Oh, meat thermometer is a lifesaver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then years ago, somebody gave me a magnet that just had steaks, like rare, medium rare, and the temperature.
Oh, right.
I've had it on my fridge for years.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. First of all, the men's room absolutely rocks. The entertainment you all provide is top notch. You guys never fail to provide laughter in every show I hear. Anyway, reaching out for a birthday shout out because I know my wife will forget. Today, I celebrate my 55th trip around the flaming orb up in the sky. Would love to get an OG fish sandwich, an Alan Thick, an owl hitting the window, and the Dirty Germans telling me what an epic night it'll be turning 55. Keep on rocking, guys. That from Jason in Puyallup.
2 Oregon fish sandwich.
Uh-oh, look out. Yeah, when you hit an age like 55, this is the night that you should also have a threesome, you see, because your two numbers already match up. You have a 5, you have a 5. Include yourself. See if it works at the bar and let me know, because I turned 55 in March.
See, also, it's a famous song about people. I believe his name is Sammy. They can't drive 55.
Yeah.
Tonight, your wife will have to drive to stick shift.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails here. It says, Boo Bitches, your Valentine question. Getting caught up on the Odyssey app there for the Valentine's Day question. What drives you nuts about your previous or current relationship? Well, my now current girlfriend, we have a double-sided sink with a garbage disposal on one side. She has to empty the scraps on the opposite side of the disposal. And I have to literally take apart the drainage pipes and clean them out every few months. And that stinks and is caked full of crap. Second, when I'm answering a question or something, somehow she interrupts me in the middle of my talking. I clam up and never finish what I had to say. If you choose to read this, please withhold my name, because she listens on her way home from work. Love the show, guys. I think you had an idea what you were doing when you planted that seed.
She knows who she is. Mm-hmm. She's the one dating or married to the guy that has to keep pulling apart the pipes.
So they have two sinks, which I love those things. One side is a garbage disposal, but yet she doesn't use that side.
She uses the food in the other one.
Yeah. Bless you, Mike. I feel like she is blatantly just doing this.
I do too, because we have the same thing.
Pissed.
It's the two sink thing. The left side has a garbage disposal. So if I'm clearing off plates, that's the side I clear them off into, you see, because there's the garbage disposal.
Or just straight into the trash.
Yeah, depending what it is.
Or the compost.
But I get pissed when my kids empty things on the other side. Like, guys, if there's food, do it on this side. That's all I ask.
Yeah, Miles brings up a good point, though. That one throws me off, too. Compost or the trash, like, these people put plates and sinks with, like, food on them.
Oh, well, they work here,
scrape
Ted.
the food.
Yeah, just scrape it off.
Yeah.
Hell, I wouldn't put a plate back if we're all eating at Thrills.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't sweat it. I'm washing the dishes. Like, I'm still going to scrape off my plate and stack it for him.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
That woman's upset.
And stacking isn't good either, because then you have to wash more so the bottom of the plate.
I don't mind that.
I do.
When I'm washing, I'm washing.
But
I don't stack them at a restaurant because I know that can be annoying for the waiter or
They got a
waitress.
system, yeah.
But I feel like at somebody's home, like you're gonna wash them, like just stack them.
And one more on a good bathroom story.
But duly noted, next time at your house, I'll leave plates all over.
Oliver tells us all the bathroom stories were not a great ending, so I'll tell you one of mine. I was at a bar one night. A girl that I know and frequently flirted with, as age flirted with me as well. I smacked her on the ass when she walked by me. Yeah. She says, ouch, don't. My ass is sunburned real bad. So I said like a jackass, show me. She dragged me into the tiny bathroom, locked the door. Not only did she drop her pants and show me a very, very red ass, she then leaned over the sink. And we did it in a packed bar on a Friday night. That from the Trickler. Pretty good positive bathroom story there.
You had some sunburn sex going on.
Sunburn sex.
But she's like, ow, ow, ow. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, if it's that sunburned.
Yeah, but if they're offering it up like, hey, okay.
No, I'm just saying from her. I get his angle. Yeah. What does he care? He's not sunburned.
Yeah. Coming up, we will drink and toast with the shot of the day. But first.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck. It's up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And today we have 2 stories that take place on an aeroplane. The other one takes place in a restaurant. Let us start with plane number 1. A dog let out of its crate by their owner left a smelly mess, which we know to be poop, on a United Airlines flight that forced unlucky passengers to quote-unquote suffer aboard the aircraft. Travelers who departed from Portland en route to Denver claimed that a woman's fussy chihuahua, as though there's another kind, was behind the chaos when she let the small pup out of the crate at some point during the flight. Now, one man who identified himself only as Nick, he recounted passengers are hit with a nasty poop smell that forced one pregnant lady sitting directly behind him to hit the call button for flight attendant assistance. Now, looking around to see where the unbearable smell was coming from, Nick says he and the pregnant lady, seated in the back of the plane, immediately spotted the stinky dog out of the crate. Quote, I turned on my phone late, and that's when I realized the dog was out. And we were debating, was it her, as in the owner, or was it the dog? Nick also said he heard the dog's owner possibly foreshadow this happening. She mentioned earlier, when I was first seated, that she had not taken the dog to the bathroom at the airport. I think they have relief centers, so it probably was cooped up in the cage the whole time. When flight attendants made their way to the pregnant woman, they discovered dog feces on the edge of an aisle seat. To make matters worse, another passenger claimed that the lady refused to move with her foul-smelling chihuahua or take responsibility for cleaning the nasty mess. Surrounding passengers in the same aisle, they also said they were unable to move or switch seats because the plane was full. So she let her dog out. The dog poops on the edge of the seat. She knows that it did, and she told him, I'm not going to clean it up. I'm not dealing with it.
I don't know where you're flying to these days, but anytime I get on a flight to Seattle or from Seattle, it is completely full. There's not an empty seat on the plane.
So we go to plane number 2. A passenger was shocked when he stepped in a large pile of dog poop. This aboard an Atlanta to Miami flight. And he was offered only paper towels and a miniature bottle of gin to clean it up. Matthew Meechan said, quote, I sit on my seat and I immediately smell something, and I thought, oh, not another flight that smells bad. Well, I realized the person next to me also had their nose covered. And then I went to take my charger out. Bent down completely to change my phone and charge my phone and realized it's not just the smell, it's actual feces. And it's all over the back of my legs. It's all over the floor and all over the wall of the plane. Well, he and fellow flyers, they rushed over to the front of the plane to notify flight attendants whose response to the biohazard left him stunned. Quote, the flight crew said, are you kidding me? We turned that in. I can't believe they didn't clean it. So in other words, they knew it was there. So instead of calling the gate and asking for sanitizing materials, the flight attendant gave him 2 paper towels and a miniature bottle of Bombay Sapphire Gin.
I'm drinking that. I want another.
To clean himself with. Quote, it got all over my bare ankles. They didn't give me gloves. I had to take my pants off because it's on the back of my pants. So feces at this point is transferring to my hands with no kind of sanitizing solution to be able to clean anything with, and only 1 tiny bottle of gin. Well, when he left the bathroom, to his dismay, passengers continued boarding the poop-covered aircraft. When Meehan asked the flight crew for an explanation, he said they told him that cleaning the mess was not their responsibility and that they were busy getting ready for departure. The gate agent did call a manager, who Meehan described as confrontational. Quote, I tell her what happened, and she said, if the cleaning crew didn't do their job, that's not my problem. What do you want me to do about it? Well, by this point, other passengers were now standing in protest and demanded a thorough cleaning, so the manager sent someone over with paper towels. Quote, to my knowledge, they did not use any kind of sanitizing solution, and I was supposed to be okay with that because she, quote, unquote, cleaned it. Well, the airline later told him a golden retriever puppy had dropped the deuce. Man said he had to be somewhere in the morning and he couldn't afford to deplane, so he had no choice but to, quote, fester in feces for a couple of hours. And since the flight was overbooked, he couldn't move to another seat. So as he says, quote, so we sat there during the entire flight. My row, the rows around me. It still smelled horrific. There was still feces caked in the carpet. So 2 dog turds on 2 separate planes. Okay. And now for something completely different. A man in Canton, Ohio, he was arrested and faces charges after investigators say that he started casting pornography onto a restaurant television while families with children were there eating. According to the Summit County Sheriff's Office, the incident happened at a restaurant in the city of Greene, Ohio, just outside of Canton. Investigators say 3 families went to the restaurant after a youth basketball tournament, and the party included 6 kids, ages 9 to 12. Now, the group told investigators that while at the restaurant, they noticed pornography playing on one of the TVs. Parents reached out to the sheriff's office, who responded to the restaurant a little bit later, and investigators learned that someone was using their cell phone to broadcast the porn onto the TV. Well, sheriff's deputies say they identified the suspect, a 30-year-old Canton man, who was arrested and taken to jail. He's charged with disseminating matter harmful to juveniles under the age of 13.
Did they say in the article, is that like a bar and restaurant?
I don't know. I do not know. Doesn't say anything about it. So you got 2 dog turds on a plane, just different scenarios. One, the lady let the dog out, the Chihuahua, and she would not take responsibility, but she was physically present to do so. The second turd on the plane was from a passenger who had been on the plane, and the cleaning crew, I guess, didn't get around to cleaning up the dog.
Well, the woman, I think, who did not clean up her own dog's mess.
Yeah.
I think she sucks pretty bad compared to the other ones. But look, whoever the carrier was, they should have gone in there and cleaned that mess up.
Yes.
Obviously, they did not. But it is their responsibility to do so. I'm assuming when the first story that the crew came and tried to help clean up some of the Chihuahua poop.
As I understand it, on the first flight, the crew was as responsible as they could be.
But 1 bottle of gin and 2 paper towels. That's
the second guy.
Yeah, that's it's all over the walls. It's on the seat. It's the back of his leg. That's not enough.
Right, and I know where you're going, and I'm kind of having the same thought. Like, obviously, you don't want porn on in front of children, but I'm holding out hope. Maybe it's like a Saturday afternoon. It's a bar and restaurant, and this guy, you know what I mean? Like one of those ones where it's like
maybe
you can see, and he's just hammered and thought it would be funny.
If you've got a kid and they've got a phone and you don't have settings on it, trust me, they've seen a lot of stuff either from their friends or by their own,
Sure.
I'm going to say the Ohio porn sucks the least.
Ohio porn.
I mean,
I think it's kind of, well, not funny, but it's not like having crap on you for 3 or 4 hours on a flight.
Right.
Yeah, and that first lady just sucks too. It's like, well, don't let your dog out if you know it's going to poop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if I have a dog that pees a lot, I'm not going to bring him into your living room.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. No problem.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Shot of the Day's coming up. You are listening to The Men's Room.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough, and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time. There's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, take a couple of minutes. We'll drink a toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. According to Hinge, Gen Z daters are afraid of rejection and looking, quote, cringe.
Cringe.
That's not new.
Right.
What's the generation that love rejection?
Right.
I mean, right.
I love getting turned down by people I'm attracted to.
It's always a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it cringe, call it whatever, but, like, we've all been through this.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter your age.
Yeah, it's called human nature.
100%. Right. It doesn't matter the age. You could be 60 years old and out on the dating scene and you're afraid of rejection.
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, it takes a lot to take up the courage to ask somebody out.
Right. So getting rejected sucks.
And you should fear more looking cringe than you are of rejection.
Yeah, exactly.
Just relax. Don't worry. You're going to get turned down, and it's okay. People are allowed to not be attracted to you, just as the same as if somebody that you don't find attractive is attracted to you. It's okay for you to turn them down as well. Just don't be weird. That's it.
Right. Don't make it worse.
Don't be weird.
I don't like you because you're butt. Right, like that. Like, no reason to say that, sir. You could have just said, I don't want to go on a second date.
Could have just said no.
Couldn't tell how weird looking you were in those pictures. Right? That would be awful.
Yeah.
No. She used to have 2 eyebrows, then she shaved the top one off.
It's also kind of weird to turn somebody down.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but it's not comfortable for anyone.
No.
Right.
You know, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but hell no.
Right.
I mean, it's
How do I get out of this? No, thank you. I appreciate that you're attracted, but no.
I don't think my girlfriend would approve.
Nice.
There you go.
Damn, dude. Good call. Good call. A satellite launched in 1995 and retired in 2011 is finally making its way home today.
Oh, I mean, home is relative.
I think it came down already, I think.
It burned up.
Well, yeah, I read that headline at like 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
It was like, it's supposed to come down today. I'm thinking,
somewhere in the Pacific.
Only 1 million up there to go.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. The Hooters location in Charleston, West Virginia is being demolished soon, and they're holding a candlelight vigil for it.
Damn.
And you just went to Hooters, so you understand why.
I did. It's great.
Yes.
It was actually really good chicken.
No,
and
when the one closed in Portland, I was bummed out. I was like, you got to be kidding.
Right.
Like,
Where's our nearest one now?
Las Vegas, California?
Right.
I don't know. Denver? Who knows?
Nate, is there one in Oregon?
I feel like folks always do texting like, you guys, there's actually one in Shoreline or something like that, right?
No, they're wrong. No, you're all
not
wrong.
Hooters.
You're all wrong.
Right.
I mean, look, there was one in Shoreline or Linwood. There used to be one on South Lake Union, and then the last one that stayed around forever was the one in Tacoma.
Yeah,
like Miles and I are on it.
Yeah, South Dakota, because that was the Steelers bar down in Tacoma. I mean, frustration.
Right. Doggone it.
Last time I was in there, Mike, full disclosure, I would just call these gentlemen motorcycle enthusiasts.
Okay.
So I come out of the bathroom, and I had noticed they kind of kept looking at me and my buddy, but I don't want to seem like that guy.
Of course not.
So I'm not going to say nothing. I just finally look at my buddy and go, it's about time to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? And finally go, I don't know, man. I'm getting a weird vibe. Those guys keep looking over at us. Like, I don't know if we said something. And then before we can get out of there, one guy walks over, and I'm like, elbow my buddy, like, I don't know. He's like, big fan of the show, dude. I was like, oh, thank God.
You cashed out.
Thank God. Right. And then I was like,
oh, we're staying.
I was like, well, I'm scared of you, so I'm still going to leave.
Where do we go now?
I know, they were super nice.
I'm just going to act like I meant to leave right now.
Yeah. I think that's what I came back in the bathroom like, dude, that dude was staring at me. We got to get out of here. I don't know if he thinks I'm somebody else.
I'm going to get killed.
No one wants to leave Hooters.
I know.
No, it was like Friday afternoon at happy hour.
But they could change the name and have guys in banana hammocks. I'm still going because the wings are that good.
The wings are great. The environment's fantastic.
I don't
Dude,
care.
I'm telling you, I went to pick up my food this weekend. I ordered it for takeout because I'm not going to hang around all by myself like a weirdo. So I go there to pick it up, but it wasn't ready. So I sat at the bar. of all the sports that they had Impractical Jokers on the TV with the sound that was on all over the speakers out there. This was great. Everybody was laughing.
You
having a great
should have
time.
sat down, saddled up, and enjoyed the evening.
I should have, man. I should have. Anyway, Ted, as much as I know you, buddy, you're a man that does appreciate the dialects and the accents of overseas. You're a man that likes to dive into the different languages that basically different slang terms that like folks in the UK would use.
I got you, mate.
Aye.
Say less, bruv. Say less.
Now, how much would you say that you know of Scottish slang?
Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one. I can barely understand their English.
Let's find out.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
Scottish slang. 10 terms you should know. Like, lang may your lum reek. I'm sure that was spot on. Sure, you think its phrase would be fitting for a man like Thrill and his affinity for the farts.
Yes.
But you would be wrong. It means, may you live long and keep well. That's a bunch of crap. Who needs a positive affirmation in some podunk language not even a Scot understands? That reminds me, my ex-wife is Scottish.
Adds up. So here's some Scottish slang. I'm going to give you guys my best impression of it. I can do some Scottish, but even then, sometimes it's a little bit difficult, a little thick. So I'm going to give you the slang term. We'll see if you guys can figure it out, and I will do my best to add it into some sentences as well. First is hunters, eh? There's hundreds of sheep out there.
Hundreds?
Hundreds of. Hunter's eye.
Hunter's eye. Hunter's eye. Okay.
All right. Yeah, because that's like, it's like we always say about fixin' or fin too.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So we always shorten stuff anyhow.
Just cutting it down. And I do also like the videos of folks that'll give their Scottish relatives a sentence to say. And there are just some where the rolls of the R's, the thickness of the vowels, they just can't get them off.
Rural.
Yeah, no kidding. That one's hard enough for us.
What's something rural?
Yeah.
Rural.
Yeah. I don't know why. I saw this English dude. He's like, that was one of them. There was like 4 words. He's like, I don't know how you guys are saying it.
The word patch.
Patch?
Basically, they have a conversation. You still seeing your gutter, mate? Nah, patched it. How? Just couldn't be done. Yeah. Yep. Just couldn't get it done.
Why patch?
Another parts of the world, to patch a relationship might involve blowing flowers. In Glasgow, patch is used in a different to a relationship. It means to dissolve the union.
Huh.
It can also be used more generally to mean not doing something. You can patch work, patch going out, patch a holiday. Commonly used among Scottish teens, patch can also mean to ignore. Mama's still texting me, but I'm just patching it.
All right. It's kind of funny. They're using the reverse of it.
Yeah.
Right? No kidding. That's what I thought when I first read it, too. I was like, oh, yeah, you're patching things up. Nope, you're patching it.
Nope.
You're sealing it up.
He's patchless.
How about pumped? Did you see the Rangers score last night? Hey, they were well pumped.
Played a good game.
Fired up, like we are pumped up.
Completely the opposite. It can also indicate a heavy defeat for a football team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's Rangers. They probably lost to Celtic.
All right, Ted, explain to me then what a punter is. In the UK, not necessarily.
I know, because somebody can be he's a punter.
Or she can be a punter.
Is it
I believe
like a lawyer someone?
It's a sexual
sponsor.
It's a sexual thing.
Is it?
I thought it just meant they were kind of an idiot.
Oh, I don't know. I'm honest to God asking. I know you know a lot more about that than I do. I was like, I read it. Well, Mike has a story coming up in headlines. Okay, about a British soldier. Okay, and he won $500,000,
right?
Because he created the best amateur sex tape,
pretty much,
in a contest, right? And they kept saying in the story that he was with a punter named.
Huh, okay.
And I did not know what that meant. Like, as far as, like, is that a prostitute? Is that a female adult actress?
Yeah, I think it applies to men and women.
Yeah. I just don't know what it means.
Gotcha. Back to Scottish slang. Roaster. Just see that guy doing cartwheels in the middle of the road? Aye, mate. Absolute roaster.
Was he hammered?
Idiot or show off?
Pretty much. Obnoxious, annoying, or otherwise objectionable person.
Ah, okay.
A roaster. I'm saving one for later because it's absolutely something that we would use.
It is so weird because they're so close together, but That slang is so much different.
It's entirely different.
And I don't watch the Scottish. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't watch their soccer or football. So, like, I don't know Scottish terms.
Right.
Well, I told you when I was in London, the one guy was Scottish. He's just like, I'll slow down. I'm like, thank you.
And they say it so matter-of-factly that, and it is, as soon as you cross that border, it is just, they have a different way of talking. And it is just, it spills out of them just that fast.
Yeah, that's nuts. A rough and tumble bunch, the Scots.
Hey-o. Get away and bail your hide.
Get in and bail your... Like, go home and get your work done.
So, bile and hide are the Scots words for boil and head, respectively. So, telling someone to get away and bail your hide means to boil your head. It means asking them to submerge their head in water, flick the switch to 11, and bring their head up to temperature in case 100 degrees Celsius. More plainly, it means to F off.
Yeah, that's it.
Get away and bail your hide.
I have a buddy, his friend is Scottish. We were talking last week, and his buddy had this wild story about, like, how'd you get a black eye? And he's like, somebody walked into the bar and decided they didn't like my face. And he's like, fine now. I'm like, is that what happens there? He's like, it's not that uncommon.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes.
Mike went and he got punched twice.
That's right. The only time
Eddie was 12.
Don't like your face, boy.
Right. It's ugly. Did you,
You did.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you did? Did you really?
Right, you're kind of asking what you're saying, like, oh, you really did that, huh?
Exactly. And they actually give you a video here. This comedian, Kevin Bridges, he wants to host a talk show, celebrity talk show. Did you, is what he's going to call it, where he's got the celebrities that go on there and say, I know what I did, and I did it because I was in a really dark place, right. and I had to go to that dark place in order to get to where I am now, which is the new me, and it's focused on the future. Did you?
Right.
Talking some Scottish slang here. Gonna no do that.
All right, hang on. Say that again.
Gonna no do that.
Gonna not do that?
Correct. Going to not do that. Gonna not die that.
Hey, when you stop at the store, you gotta not do that.
It basically means just please don't.
Right.
Stop what you're doing at this point. But I've saved this one for last. Let's see if you guys can get it. This is the number one piece of slang that we gotta get. And I'm gonna give you, Ted, this is very much what we would do with our buddy Marshawn. Tops off, taps on, and ball-bag weather.
Shirts on, shirts off, in any weather?
It's basically tarps off is what it is.
Oh, nice. I love tarps off.
So you got tops off, which is tops off. The point at which the garment's covering the upper body removed in response to the outdoor heat.
Ah, okay.
Let's see here. Tops on, and then ball bag weather. Ball bag, what did they say here? It basically, there it is.
Hot and humid?
It's a scrotum.
Yeah. So let's get a little...
Ball bag weather.
Okay. So it's a kilt thing.
Because they just say it around kids, too.
Pretty much.
I like that.
Types on, types off, and ball bag weather.
Or if Usher's shirtless, then you got to be shirtless.
Pretty much, yeah. It's tarps off.
Tarps off in solidarity with Usher. We have the same body as him.
We do.
Yes.
Look out.
Minus skin color.
Of course. Well, that's obvious, Ted.
Yeah, sorry.
A man in Pennsylvania made off with $2 quadrillion.
That is a lot of money.
And he managed to steal something even more valuable than that.
What was that?
I'll give you all the details at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. Have we made it to drinking time?
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Brian is helping to make a difference through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
I was addicted to meth, sleeping in my car, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got off drugs, earned a bachelor's degree in theology, and have almost completed a master's in counseling. Today, I'm the director of outreach at the mission.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit ugm.org.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
3 time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve a Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today, we toast Mr. Tim Hansen of somewhere in the Netherlands. So, Tim was fined $400 after a traffic camera caught him talking on his phone while driving. Well, he was shocked, mainly because he had no recollection of talking on his phone that particular day, certainly not in the car. So he decided to check the photo for himself. So at first glance, it does appear that Tim is in fact talking on his phone. But a closer look reveals that he's not actually holding anything in his hand. He was simply scratching the side of his head, but the camera mistook the position of his hand for him holding a phone. Well, Tim happens to work in IT, specifically creating algorithms that edit and analyze images. So he put his expertise to use and proved that even if he was not scratching his head, he definitely was not talking on a phone. Worst case scenario, he was talking to his own hand. Anyway, he's confident that he's going to win his case, but he has to wait 26 weeks for an official verdict. So they posted a picture. When you look at the picture, at first glance, it looks like he's holding a phone up to his head. When you look closer at the picture, there's nothing in his hand. He's scratching the side of his head, but he works in IT, like I said, doing all this stuff. So he went to them and said, guys, I'm not trying to fight $400. What I'm saying is I did not do this. Right. They looked, they agreed, said, yeah, there is nothing in her hand. It's like, right. So even if you think I'm talking on the phone, I couldn't have been because there is no phone. But he's supposed to wait half a year to get an official verdict. But we saw the picture, man. And like I said, it looks like he's on his phone. So you realize he's not holding a phone. So there you go. That's how it works in the Netherlands. Yeah, but that's the precise moment that this AI thing took his picture. Anyway, we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Steve a Thrill Hill, could you please, everyone, now Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Andy. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores. All right, Dandy Andy, you understand how this here game is played?
I do, sir.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did somebody find in their food? Interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
We're going to do the second one, no doubt.
All right, here is your story. A 73-year-old Australian man needed emergency urethra surgery after jamming something into his penis. Thank you, Mike, because the terms emergency urethra surgery are never good. Anyway, after waiting 24 hours to seek medical attention, doctors moved quickly to remove the foreign objects because the foreign objects could cause necrosis in just 2 hours.
I would also like to note that any surgery involving the urethra is likely an emergency urethra surgery.
That is actually a pretty strong point.
Strong.
Very strong point. So after several unsuccessful approaches, the surgeons resorted to forceps, which finally got the foreign object out of his urethra Franklin. Now, that was not the end of it. 10 days later, the man returned to the hospital complaining of swelling and discharge, which prompted doctors to, quote, aggressively operate again. An incision was made into the penile skin and a large amount of fluid leaked out. Now, the doctor's fears that the man had developed necrosis, they were realized. And in the end, part of his urethra Franklin had to be removed. Now, the man confessed that he'd inserted objects into his meat snorkel in the past, but had always been able to remove them without complication, not this time. So the question is, what did he insert into his pork sword? Was it tweezers? Was it an Allen wrench? Was it watch batteries, or was it 2 pen tops? So tweezers, an Allen wrench, watch batteries, or 2 pen tops. One of those things, rather unfortunately, he inserted into his urethra. Hey, man, you picked the topic.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Where'd you say it was again?
Australia.
In Australia. I do not know where in Australia, just Australia.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, I know the answer. And what I think is all of these are horrible answers, and even worse, one of these is right.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the less painful option.
When I'm thinking of urethra, I mean, I'm thinking about the main...
Yeah, the main drain.
Yeah, I mean, it's your main, you're in and out.
Okay.
And there's no good answer. There's just a right answer. That's the thing with this.
All right, Andy, I'm going to jump in and go 2 pen caps.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Allen wrench. That just seems like the easiest one to get out.
Okay, Ted.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he couldn't get it out. He had done it before with the same object. According to him, he'd used this object before and had inserted it in his urethra for sexual gratification and had been able to remove it without complications. This is the time he couldn't pull it off.
And they make things for that.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, specifically to
stimulate. Little bells or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you could put in there, and you can have somebody do it for you if you're into that stuff. I don't know why. I'm leaning towards watch batteries.
Watch batteries. Okay.
Just trying to get a charge, mate.
We're going to find out what that guy shoved up there. Was it tweezers, an Allen wrench, a watch battery, or 2 pen caps next?
That was a tease.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In the fast-paced world of attacking, speed is everything, and that's where the Furon 7 Plus shines. Engineered for accuracy and precision at a rapid pace, it's your secret weapon on the pitch. Experience overall comfort and precise striking, even in the game's fastest moments. The nylon outsole, with its V-shaped stud configuration, is designed for firm ground, giving you the grip you need to outmaneuver your opponents. Step up your attacking game and learn more and purchase the Furon at NewBalance.com.
Over 13,000 people in the Seattle area are homeless. Brian is helping to make a difference through Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
I was addicted to meth, sleeping in my car, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got off drugs, earned a bachelor's degree in theology, and have almost completed a master's in counseling. Today, I'm the director of outreach at the mission.
And grace will lead me home.
To hear more, volunteer, or donate, visit ugm.org.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories: interior decorating on profile list. We got an Australian man who needed emergency surgery to his manhood after jamming something
His
up
urethra.
up his foster straw. He returned 10 days later for another surgery, and some of his kookaburra was removed. Question is, did he jam tweezers, an Allen wrench, a watch battery, or 2 pin caps up there?
And remember, Andy, you're the one who picked this topic. But nevertheless, here we are. By the way, on the text line, somebody says, I'm going with tweezers. Someone else says 2 pen caps, but they thought it out. They said he used 1 cap, but then he needed more pleasure, so he used 2. And then the one got stuck. That's their theory on this.
Okay.
Now,
okay, well, given all this amazing time to think about all those pleasurable objects, you said something about required emergency surgery after 2 hours on one of those items?
So the thing is this, based on what he put in his urethra, they said these things within 2 hours can cause necrosis. This guy waited 24 hours to even go to the hospital. After they removed the objects, he went back to the hospital 10 days later because their fear of necrosis had come true, and that's why they had to remove part of his urethra Franklin.
I'm gonna go with watch battery.
Now, originally you went with Allen wrench.
You went Allen,
too late
you
to
went Allen
change.
wrench there, Andy.
But either way,
No, I'm gonna change it.
Well, you can't.
No, you can't.
Well, there's not even a prize.
Yeah. It's like I say, we're going to switch out your girlfriend. No.
Miles went with the 2 pen caps. And, theorizing along with the texture. No.
Hey, you know what? Just getting word, breaking news. The Niners actually, they're going to go ahead and kick the ball. They've thought about it.
They thought about it. They thought different. Now, Andy, you originally went with Allen wrench.
This is the guy who once gave up oral for pizza. Remember that.
Hey, we were just talking about that, oddly enough, and recounting Miles' story of eating chicken while receiving a mouth hug. Different story for a different day.
It smelled so good.
And part of a roll. This is all true. Now, and literally, we were just talking about this. But Andy, originally, you went with the Allen wrench. It was not an Allen wrench.
Okay, Ted.
Ted, you went with the watch batteries.
Yes.
How
You
about
are
that?
correct.
All right.
He did 3 watch batteries. And according to him, he'd done it before with no problem. Listen, you shouldn't put anything in your urethra, right? I don't know who I'm actually speaking to at this point, but obviously the people that need to hear this. But if you must, do not use things that corrode. And that's what the doctors were saying. They said, look, man, if it were almost anything else, it's just a matter of extraction. The fact that it's these batteries, and batteries obviously are known to corrode, like these things will cause problems. And this guy ended up getting necrosis and that part of his urethra removed.
1 battery, fine. 3 batteries, that's overkill.
Too much. Well, that's the thing, all 3 got stuck. And we don't know if he started with like 7. I mean, that's the thing. He just showed up. There were 3 in there.
He was all charged up.
All charged up.
Also, right, when you do that kind of stuff, there is positives and negatives.
Ted with the battery jokes.
I mean, hey, I can keep running.
Hey, what else you got? Give me one more penis battery joke. I know it's on the fly.
Well, he wasn't having sex like a rabbit, but
he was ever ready.
Oh,
nice.
Now for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Sorry.
Where was the scream?
I was still trying to think of another battery penis joke. I assume it was a D battery?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I'm dead serious.
All right.
I forgot to scream. It's almost like batteries, penis, batteries.
It's amazing. how you get distracted at this job. Some of the conversations we had before we go on the air, like, okay, well, we're going to say this, like VD gets involved, and you'll spend 20 minutes, kind of hashing out, like, how something's going to be presented. And I'm like, they paid us to have this conversation about farts or peeing or whatever it is. Ted, getting distracted. I need a penis battery joke. I must do this.
I'm so fired up with my first two. All right. Well, there's one guy that's not doing anything like that because he's got a, frankly, hot wife or girlfriend. I don't know. Jelly Roll.
That's wife. I have not seen his wife.
Oh, Bunny. I think her name's Bunny.
Yeah, you've got to be kidding me. Her name's Bunny?
Yeah.
Bunny and Jelly?
Bro, your mind's about to be blown.
Okay. That's not. Okay.
Yeah, and she has a podcast that I was watching the other day, and I was like, who is this Bunny? Then I'm like, oh, that's Jelly Roll's girl.
And she's hilarious, too.
Yeah, she is actually pretty entertaining for... That sounds sexist. She is
actually, she's funny.
Oh, I see what's going on
so
here, Ted.
I can look like him.
I can see what's going on.
Shocking.
Yeah, right.
Hey, she was with him long before he got known by anybody.
No, I know.
She's been with him through all of it. Dude.
It's almost like you created a living doll.
But the thing is, look, I understand that. I credit to her and sticking by your man and all the crap that they had to go through. How did he get her in the first place? See, that's the thing.
Because it was Jelly Roll.
Pays to be funny, man.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, that, and I heard, the man's stuck. He's from the South. All right. He don't mind going back.
I visit the South every chance I get.
Good call, Mike.
He obviously likes to eat.
So, there you go, Miles. So, Jelly Roll.
I knew. Never mind.
He was all right. He wasn't at the People's Choice Awards the other night to accept his award for Male Country Artist of the Year, which...
That's a big deal for the People's Choice because country fans have some of the most loyal in all music.
Does he count as country?
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part.
I think
he's
most
rock, he's
people,
country.
They call him country, and then he branches out and does other things. That seems to be the general MO.
There's just kind of like this weird space now. It's like Post Malone. I don't know that I would call him a rapper anymore.
I think you just call him an artist.
Yeah.
Good call.
That's
at
kind of
this point.
Because there's an entire wave of, especially in country music right now, where there's country rock, there's country hip hop that are still kind of labeled as hardline country. You got the Morgan Wallens, you got the Jelly Rolls, you got the Nate Smiths, the guy that I like.
But you know what's gone? Bro country. That seemed to take a step back, which is, that was popular for about 8 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
And now it's
What about Southern rock? The Molly Hatchets, the Leonard Skinners, where country was listened to it.
Yeah.
Rock people were listening to it, and it's like the one time, at least when I was growing up, that country and rock had no problems with each other.
Marshall Tucker Band, Outlaws, all that.
Sure.
Yeah, and you're exactly right.
Who is the guy? So there's Jelly Roll now. Post Malone just kind of does what he wants, which I respect. Who was the dude? It's a couple of years ago. I want to say worked with Chris Cornell. Oh,
Zach Brown.
Zach Brown, right? Zach Brown band.
So Zach Brown, he is strictly country.
He's country, but
all
he
the rock
would
guys
rock
like
out
him.
all of a sudden. Yeah,
yeah. There's a ton of them. So Jelly Roll, though, he wasn't there to accept the award because he was. Well, you know what? I'll let him tell it. But Jelly Roll was out just being a good dude.
We won a People's Choice Award for the Male Country Artist of the Year, voted by the fans, baby. Y'all have never let me down. Thank you. I'm sorry I wasn't there. Here's the truth. I'm actually standing in the juvenile courthouse right now. I just walked out of the juvenile facility. We partnered with the Beat of Life to bring a music program to the kids. This has been on my calendar for a long time. I promised these kids I was coming. I had to honor my word. I hate I wasn't there, but don't take me not being there as a sign of anything other than love and respect and me trying to do better for my community, baby.
Yeah. So he was literally at the juvenile hall, like hanging out with the kids that got in trouble or are in there.
We're just terrible people. That's what every time he talks, like he's done something good. You know what I mean? Like he did his time, he did his thing, he admits to it, owns it, all the stuff. And then in your meantime, like, well, I could be on television getting a People's Choice Awards because the country likes me, or I don't know about these kids.
Yeah, and I mean, that's awesome.
It is.
Like, there's a lot of people. Look, I have plenty of friends that may have done a small amount of time in juvie, but you would never guess it now.
Sure,
but it kind of scared him. I mean, hell, I spent a couple days in Central Booking,
it has an amazing effect.
Right, when you're younger, these things can happen. So I think it's cool that he's in there being like, hey, look, here's the other way, here's the other path.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, yeah, I started watching. I'm always watching sports or drugs. So this one is about, it's like a 5-part series.
Why don't you just watch both and call it the NBA? You can combine both worlds together. One sport, bunch of drugs, good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the NFL guys are a little more obvious about it these days, too. Like Miles will test. Those guys always knew kind of the testing system.
Sure.
Now, once you pee dirty, it's a lot more intense. But I don't know. There's enough jokes and stuff now where it's like, oh, they're not flaunting it, but it's like, oh, they know damn well what they're doing.
But they do it off season.
Whereas
that seems to be the difference.
Whereas the NBA is just like,
we're not going to ask.
We're not going to test. We don't care.
Yeah. NFL guys don't put it on social media when they're smoking their blunt.
Because they get in trouble.
Beckham did.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you get a drug test in the NFL. You run for 260 yards in one game.
Right. Then they'll drug test you.
Then they'll come to your door.
Yeah, or you're Jimmy Garoppolo. You got busted for PEDs. And it's like, you didn't even have a good year.
I was going to say, but they don't work.
Yeah.
He's taking the wrong ones.
He's doing that for sex with a porn star.
Yeah, it might be that.
So I was watching this the show on Netflix, right? It's a couple years old. And it's like an investigative reporter that goes to different countries to talk about the source drugs and this and that. And then the other half of it is a woman that used to be in the CIA. I guess her parents were too. And she talks about growing up in East Africa and other things like that. But it's like...
She was in Detroit.
The cocaine one is just amazing. Because, like, I think everybody, you watch these movies and stuff, and you think about selling cocaine, and it's like, oh, I'm going to get rich and this and that. It's like, not really. Like, there's the guys at the very top that are going to ton of money.
Of course.
But the dudes out in the field picking everything, like picking the leaves and
they're
stuff.
not getting anything.
They're not getting anything. But they're still getting more than they would for the other
So they
crops.
go do cocaine, then they do a different drug on the next episode and move on to
Correct.
whatever.
So the cocaine one was pretty interesting. Let's be honest, cocaine is used all over the world.
Sure.
But if you take our consumption as the United States out of it, which is not going to happen, and the woman that's in the CIA, and it's funny, it's getting towards the end of the episode, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, maybe we should just legalize it. And she literally goes, I know this will sound extreme, like I was in the CIA, but like the prohibition isn't working. We throw billions at it. It doesn't work. People still have an appetite for some of these illegal drugs. The one movie I watched years ago, American Drug War. I like the quote in that one was, "They're illegal because they work." But also, we did it with alcohol, right? That didn't work at all. All we did was up violence because now there was an extra revenue source, and like that's what sucks. Is these people? Is that like, let's say. On the weekend, you go out, you go to a club, you do some cocaine. Now, at no point when you're doing that, you're worried about getting in trouble, getting into the club. You're not thinking about the fact it's screwing over some poor family in Colombia.
Right.
So it's like, I don't think people are ever going to get to that point. So I'm kind of with her. It's like, if there was a way to legalize it and take the illegal element out of it, and also...
Which drug looks the worst?
I mean, look.
Well, I'm just saying, but this is just the one I'm talking about. I want to concentrate because it's just so it's almost like if you legalize it,
I think
you do with alcohol,
absolutely be legalized.
You can, and people will use it more, use it less. But look, it happened with heroin too. That was another episode. So with all the unrest in the Middle East and Turkey and this and that, they have to find new routes. So now heroin is flooding into East Africa and it's tearing up the slums because nobody's ever used it, and it's crazy.
There's a couple of countries that legalize a lot of drugs. One of them is heroin. And one of the things they did was, I believe it was the Netherlands.
Portugal did it too, where they have a safe room that you go in and you can do your heroin.
But with this, you physically had to go to, if you want to get your heroin, like, look, it's legal. We're not here to judge you. But you had to go to these government-sanctioned places to get it. And you'd come in, they knew about where you were as an addict, and they gave you the dosage you would need to survive week to week. I believe it's a week-to-week thing. So... they did a pilot program on this, and there are politics behind this. So you have to ask yourself, and I would say every politician should be given an IQ test and a citizenship test. It should not preclude them from running, but at least as voters, we understand what they know and don't know, right? So one of the things they did with heroin, and look, I'm not about heroin on any level, but they legalized it. These people went to this place for 2 years to get it, and they did not tell these people, but after a period of 2 years, they would start saying, Miles, just so you know, we're going to give you what you came here to get,
right?
But you've been clean for 18 months.
Okay.
And they were like, what?
Most people, Portugal.
We lowered your dosage, every time you came, we have given you placebo for the last 18 months that you came in. So at this point, understand, one, you beat the habit. It's mental, but now the mental thing's kind of gone because you don't need it because we haven't given it to you. But, along the lines of cocaine, heroin, and all that, and it's not advocating drug use, but one, you find a lot of it goes down. When you make things okay, it's not as cool to tackle things that are already, like, my kids have no interest in smoking at all. They don't care about marijuana because now that it's legal, it's not this weird thing to them anymore, right?
And the show was called The Business of Drugs.
But it goes a long way.
And do we know the
we
service?
like to incarcerate.
Netflix. Okay.
Well,
and that's a separate business. So, so your truth is, like, man,
and it's going to take time, right?
Yeah.
Look, we're not going to do it in the States, but even in Portugal,
no.
What happened in Portugal was the first year people that are against it were right. The numbers went through the roof,
of course.
But now that we're down the line, they found out that, like you're saying, like it's not as enticing. But either way, I'm just saying, the CIA agent said it. I was thinking it. But it's a very interesting show, and it just shows you how all this stuff works. And it's just mind-blowing. And also, man, like some of these people that run these cartels, it's like you almost want to, like, let's shut down their business and have them run another company. Because these are smart people. I mean, they picked Kenya because they knew it had a strong, intel structure, that you knew you could get boats in and out and all this stuff. So it's like, right,
they're not stupid. They're illegal. Honest to God. But look, man, when Washington State legalized weed, all these cats I knew that grew weed, not selling it, but the guys that grew weed, I'd say 95% of them now work for the state. Because they know what they're doing. So when the state kind of put out the request, like, hey, we don't know what we're doing, but we know a lot of you do. These guys applied. So a guy I knew that rode a longboard all the time and wore shorts and tie-dye shirts, the last time I saw him, he's in a suit. He's like, dude, I'm a state employee. But I work with a horticulture of growing the weed because I know what I'm talking about. And him and a lot of his buddies. And I'm like, cool.
Well, what happens? Look, if somebody breaks into your home and attacks you, right? Call the cops, whatever. They're going to get arrested. You take them to court, sue them again, right? But when you're dealing with illegal businesses like this,
it doesn't work that way.
The only way they could solve things is violence, and that's when that goes through the roof again. So, but who knows? A lot of people make money on it. Just like it's like we tried it with booze, and whether you like drugs or booze or not, because I know a lot of people are completely against them. But it's like we proved with booze, it did not work.
It doesn't work. But just because something's legal doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yeah,
right.
There's a lot of people, right? Like you were saying, people don't smoke, they don't dip.
I don't drink scotch.
There's a lot of people that don't even eat fried food,
right. And you can,
or pork. I'll stop naming stuff. Sorry, there's no reason.
Everything you like. That's what I'm getting.
We're the people who hate apples.
People that don't eat bacon.
I hate lettuce.
Right? They don't even eat pizza.
They get hot tubs.
But yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a few years old, but it's called the Business of Drugs. And tell you what, that CIA agent, I wouldn't mind her booking me.
Oh, boy. All right. No wonder you watch.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to Men's Room.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance, too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
It's that time of year again. The U.S. Mint will deliver the new 2024 American Silver Eagle and Gold Eagle coins. Call Universal Coin and Bullion to get great prices on the first gold and silver coins of the year. Gold rose over 23% in the past 14 months. Financial expert Steve Forbes believes gold could hit $2,500 an ounce in 2024, and so does Universal's president, Dr. Mike Fulgens. Call the company you can trust, Universal Coin and Bullion, at 1-800-UCB-GOLD, or check out universalcoin.com/Mark Moss.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A shoplifter at a Pennsylvania Walmart busted with steaks, ammo, and, of course, bacon. Meanwhile, a South Carolina man gets his high school diploma, 100 years in the making. Priest is busted illegally selling a hard time. Headbutting passengers at 40,000 feet, definitely a crime. And a British soldier wins $500,000 making a sex tape. It's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
All right, our top story. We go to Pennsylvania, where a burglar made off with a major chunk of change. Authorities were called after a local residence was broken into by an unknown individual, and they immediately assessed that he was able to make off, what he was able to make off with. They determined that the burglar was able to steal thousands of dollars worth of necklaces and rings, silver dollars, and $2 quadrillion in cash. You can imagine that this was the least of their worries, as the cash is from the, quote, Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. But the dollar is essentially worthless. And he stole 20 $100 trillion bills. They're still on the lookout for the thief. They basically said that they're a novelty that you can get for like $10.
Yeah, it's the Bank of Zimbabwe.
Right.
Give a little time, do the...
and look at this thing, Miles.
Yeah.
It's a $100 trillion bill.
Yeah.
That sounds like...
Just because it says it does not mean it's worth it.
Correct. It sounds something like a kid's, like that's their workaround. Like, I am now a 100 trillionaire.
And you go, okay, loan me some money.
There you go.
If you got $1 trillion, you can give me $10 billion. You won't even feel it.
Remember when you were a kid and you first learned what a backed dollar bill was?
Backed?
Yeah, basically it was worth something.
Oh, yeah.
When you found out that it's not just a paper, that it actually has to represent something.
Something, right.
That sucked when you thought about that. I'll just write a check. I don't care about that. We're good.
Money's money.
Right? That's all my mom would do. She'd write checks for everything. Now, we had the money, but it never occurred to me. It's like, all right, you just write how much you're going to give them.
You don't understand that they correlate.
Right. It's just numbers.
Well, my mother told me that one time I wanted something expensive as a kid. I don't remember what it was, but my response to her was, well, let's go to the bank, because every time you go, they give you money.
Right.
Because as a kid, like, they had that vacuum tube thing. Like, I don't know what you did to get it. But whatever love note you wrote, they give you money for it, Mom. Come on.
Well, and think about it even in today's standard, even more so. It's just numbers. You just swipe a card, you just tap a card at this point, or tap your phone, and then bloop, they just give you whatever it is that you want.
There it is.
Money's just numbers anymore. Yeah.
I mean, it always has been, but at least with cash, it was tactile.
Right.
You knew, like, okay, there's no hidden fee with this. Like, if I give you $12, I'm out $12.
But you know someone's trying to skirt the system and find a way to just add zeros to your number.
Yeah. It is kind of nice, though, nowadays. I feel like you have it's much easier to know what your checking account's at.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they'll let you know when you try to make a purchase. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're at that point, like, no.
Yeah, I talked to some people, and they're like, and I'm like, how do you not have a rough estimate? Right. Like, I get being off by like 20, 30, $50 maybe, but like, I generally have a rough estimate of what's in there, what bills are coming up.
My wife texted me, this is years ago at this point, she texted me at work, oh my God, my accounting, and she's super anal about it, and what the bank says we have in the account are, and this is a quote, way different. So obviously I go into a bit of a panic. I'm like, my God, how far are they off? This is not a joke. 11 cents. And you know my wife. So I texted her back, and I said, baby, I know this is important to you. Let the bank have it.
You know what? Let them have it.
That does not weigh off to me. I can live with her 11 cent, I don't know.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Discrepancy.
I can live with it. 11 cent. You texted me at work about 11 cents. I can't. Right. I have gone through all of our numbers. I do not see how.
Right.
They have these. So, but again,
I mean, good on her. I'm impressed.
Dude, you have no idea. I mean, down to the dollar.
In other news, we head overseas to Spain, where an illegal drug operation has been busted. Authorities caught wind.
Oops. Sorry, wrong one.
Drugs.
Authorities caught wind of the sales and began an investigation, which eventually led to confronting their dealer in his own home.
All right.
They figured that he'd come quietly, as he's a priest at the local Catholic church.
What was he slanging?
A subsequent search of the home turned up exactly what they feared, that he was illegally selling Viagra along with his partner in crime, who also lived there at the house. I guess you can't just peddle Viagra in Spain, Ted.
I don't think you can anywhere. But here's the thing.
He must have been moving a lot of
especially in Spain. I'm just saying, like in the States, I would get it because they overcharge for that crap vastly, right? So, hey, I can get it to you for cheaper. Sure. Spain, as I understand it, the price per pill is much cheaper than it is here. I don't see the cost reward in doing this.
But my daughter lives there. She says it's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
She buying a lot of Miles.
I'm buying promo guys.
I don't know who she's dating, but...
To Pennsylvania at a place called Freedom, where a man's Walmart cart wasn't quite as free as he had hoped. Police were called after he was seen walking around a store with really no intention to buy his products with about $1,100 worth of goods that he had not paid for.
That's a lot.
Police arrived on the scene before he was able to make his escape, and they took him into custody.
Even if you did like a supermarket sweep, it would be very difficult to have $1,000 worth of items in your cart.
Unless you just went to seafood and grabbed crab legs and nothing else.
Right. What's a little disconcerting about his cart of goods was it appeared to be mainly filled with shotgun shells and bacon.
I mean...
Yeah. Thanks to the warrant out for his arrest, he's facing several charges, including one for the legally possessed firearm that he had in his possession. I agree with you, Miles. Unless you're grabbing TVs, and even if you are grabbing a bunch of TVs, like filling a cart full of $1,100 worth of goods at a Walmart.
And it's ammo and bacon.
Right.
Like they're going to get...
he's not wrong.
Even if you're on the level...
Right.
They're going to be suspicious.
And most better be thick cut bacon, yeah?
That's what I'm thinking.
The good stuff.
Like, you shouldn't steal... But if that guy was like, Chad, you want to come up in the morning, do some shooting?
Right.
I'll be like,
and eat bacon? Yeah.
And eat bacon?
I know you stole that ass. I don't care.
And ammo's not exactly cheap these days either, so that probably added in plenty of it. And just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
A man in South Carolina is finally ready to get his life started. A while back, he had dropped out of school following the 8th grade in order to help support his family, moving to Washington, D.C. in the process. Now that his family is on their feet, he's gone the extra mile in order to finally finish school, and we're happy to report that he was recently able to walk at his own graduation ceremony, receiving his diploma, about 90 years after dropping out of high school.
That's awesome.
Did he actually walk across the stage?
He actually walked. The 106-year-old man celebrated with his classmates who call him Gramps, and the ceremony was organized by his granddaughter.
Time to go to Beach Week.
Want some beans?
Woot woot!
He's at Rush next week. In the world of sports, you got NHL hockey on TNT and college basketball on the ESPN channel, CBS Sports, and FS1. As far as your weather, expecting things to dry out tonight into tomorrow, where we will be enjoying temperatures in the mid-50s. So enjoy those, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins.
Thank you, sir. Next time, we'll see you for Big Dummy. The head chef's back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Kevin Deers has your Pearl Jam tickets coming up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada. Yada yada. Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, yada yada. And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.